made a big decision. I'm gonna make the investment. Viewers are like, cool. We're gonna see everything on PS5. You're gonna have the new joystick too. What do the haters do? Should have bought a blood test because his cat is sick. It's sad. How dare Phil spend money? Even when it's an investment, that's bad. It's not funny. And beg people to pay for it. It never happened. I said it's a big investment. I'd like to make it back. You support my streams, I mean, that's that. I'm buying equipment for my content. Last month, I told a one-off story. Went to a vet. Essentially, I was very upset. This vet tried to scam me. They were trying to upsell us on a blood test. We're done. On to the next. Jasper is starting to show early signs of dental plaque. Did the vet tell us that? It's called customer feedback. We're going to give it to him. Don't worry about that. He's not sick. I'm going to get this joystick. And she kept pushing it. Just real talk. Let's talk cost. I'm buying equipment for my content. What you guys don't know, there's been follow-up. I'm not going to tell you. We talked with the management. It's true. And the management agreed with us. This is ridiculous. This was 100% upsell to make profit. We don't even know if he received his vaccine or anything. I'm not going to tell you guys that. It's none of your business. When my cat was being examined medically, I was never invited into the room. I had no clue if it was true. Trying to be sold by this vet. Jasper Cat has no problem with his urinary tract. We know this for a fact. Jasper goes bleh. Jasper Kitty had woken us up, vomiting all over the floor in the middle of the night. I got my coffee going. I'm cleaning up a pile of vomit, big clumps of this dirt and hair. He decided to barf everywhere. And how badly would the vomit be? Up in the air. He'd probably be pooping and peeing all over the place, purposefully trying to eat things or vomiting, making himself vomit to get attention. My wife, who's changing the litter box, Jasper Kitty is running around the house looking for shitting spots. He's trying to shit on the stairs, in the bathroom, in the room across the hallway, under the desk. So I'm chasing him around. I grabbed him and put him down. We almost had a house full of cat shit. In my sleep, Jasper had vomited. Why don't we do full purpose shampoo? The water is black. Sometimes cats just bark. Jasper Cat has no problem with his urinary tract. We know this for a fact. I had no clue if it was true. Trying to be sold by this vet. Jasper Cat has no problems with his urinary tract. We know this for a fact. He just scratched the shit out of my leg. Jasper, why'd you do that? Jasper, stop right now. That's it. Jasper, stop right now. He pulled my equipment across the whole floor. What are you doing? This joystick is meant to last. It's got the highest end parts. It's got heft to it. It's gonna probably overall improve my game. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get the
My name is Richard.
I am Darkside Phil. Oh my god.
I really need to make this fucking money.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I'm done. Why am I poisoning? What? Why am I toxic?
Got this fucking
Why am I toxic?
Got this fucking
Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Real talk, why? Ban anybody who says they have bad luck. Ban anybody who says they have bad luck. We made $1 and lost 1 subscriber. So you guys earn 3 minutes of commercials. I don't spill my fingers, I touch my face. Did something that's a twitch, did something that's a twitch. Got no bitch in my blood, 0 bitch in my blood. Honestly, straight live in people's faces. I don't spill my fingers, right? That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Like, why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Why am I toxic? It was like lonely, lonely, lonely. Why am I toxic? It was like lonely, lonely, lonely. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser. Big Liquid Richard.
Thank everybody for being here on this Saturday morning. I really appreciate it. Nice and early-ish at 9 a.m. Thank you. I wanted to do not this today. Originally, I was thinking all week, what are we gonna watch this Saturday? Because I wanted to do something. And then yesterday's pre-stream happened, and unfortunately, I instantly knew what must be done. I have to watch it all over again. As insufferable as it was, we just have to, because there's no way I'm doing a video on all of this when I'm already behind. I just can't do it. It's not possible. So that's what we're doing today. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for appreciating the cat. Very cool, very cool. Is this top 5 pre-streams of all time? Yeah, actually, I would have to say so. As miserable as I was watching it originally, it's the kind of insufferable that I think that only really DSP could manage, which is very cool, of course. Let's get into it, because there's so much. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the worst. Will I show Keem's response? I just tried to go and find Keem's response. I assumed it was on Twitter, but I don't see it on his Twitter. I see a lot of stuff about Trump and Kamala Harris. Like, I give a shit. There's Andrew Tate information. Don't care. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. So, no. It was on YouTube. Okay, I'll go find it after the 5 intros we've got here. Oh, you can't hear it. Sorry. There you go. You weren't missing much.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Wow, it's the beginning of a new streaming week, and ladies and gents, I have arguably the biggest podcast ever for you today. You want to talk about loaded topics? Let's talk about loaded topics. We've got the possibility that Kino Casino has turned on me.
Thank you for the link. We'll watch it. We'll watch it.
A pretty nasty video.
Appreciate that, Nugs.
And yeah. People are asking questions. What the heck's going on with them? Well, we're going to talk about that today. In addition, I got major updates on my schedule and events going on this week. Plus, update on the Mudar situation, because after him canceling on us on Tuesday night for a game co-op, he deleted his Twitter account. what? What is going on, right? Now, you want to talk about most unlikely stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You ready for this? Keemstar, Daniel Keem, has publicly apologized to me. We're going to be talking about this today, and finally...
Holy shit, brother. It's an intro,
today,
not the whole fucking stream. Let's go. Come on, man.
Doody. Yes. Doody. We're making an appearance here on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this lovely Friday for an epic edition of the Level 1 Podcast.
I cannot stand how many intros this fucking guy has on his streams. Like, it really is irritating how much music there is, how there's this weird summarization of all of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. Like, just get into the goddamn stream, brother. You've already done 45 minutes worth of slideshow. Like, people are waiting to hear what you have to say, as strange as that is, because he never has anything all that interesting to say. He doesn't actually add anything. Just awful.
Alrighty, folks. Well,
here we go. Here we go.
It's a lovely new week, isn't it? It's going to be
Wait,
amazing.
before we start, Javier with the 5 can't stick around. Unfortunately, thank you, put it together, but please enjoy the fruits of my fiscal irresponsibility. Also, this arc makes me want to eat a wine glass al dente. I agree, brother. I agree. After I watch the pre-stream, I'm done for the day. It really is difficult to continue to think about the things that DSP said, because I just can't. It's actually grating how dumb he is. Thank you for the $5.
Welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 23rd of August, 2024. Indeed, I am DSP, the King. And welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. What a show we have today. With so many topics to cover, we're going to have to, move quick and jump into it. I obviously want to
He did not do that. He did not move quick at all, actually.
Today, we're going to be doing Black Myth Wukong after the show ends. And then on my late stream later tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time, it's going to be Street Fighter 6. Dalzin returning to ranked gameplay, which I'm excited for. I haven't used him now in a couple of weeks. After hitting Master on PC, I want to play more. So it's going to be a great gameplay day for those who are into the gaming, my core product. But obviously, recently, with all the developments happening around me and the redemption arc that I'm having, I say that because, again, as you know, I really don't feel like I need to be redeemed. There's been a lot of eyes on me and a lot of people talking about me. And so my podcasts, I find myself gravitating away from just talking about my schedule and gameplay topics and more about things going on around the internet regarding me and other things. So
and I want to just point out what that exactly means, because he always tries to obfuscate. He tries to, say it in a way that it sounds different than what it really is. He's doing drama content. That's all it is. He's embroiled himself in enough other content creators' content. He's embroiled himself in other fan bases at this point, doing these collabs, that he's just doing drama content now. That's all it is. He doesn't want to say it like that because that's not who he is, and that's not the kind of content that his audience comes for, But that's exactly what it is. He finds himself talking about drama every single day. Every day. And honestly, at this point, I'm sick of it, brother. But I'm here for the ride, I guess. It's kind of like when you're halfway through a roller coaster and you've realized this was a mistake, but there's no way off. Like you have to suffer through the rest of the ride. Very cool.
We're gonna test the waters and see how it goes. That's where.
Thank you, Aphex Skit. For joining the 60 Skulls. Incredibly cool.
Talking about gaming stuff, just that particularly today, I don't have many of those topics for you. There's not much going on in the world of gaming news besides Black Myth Wukong has sold 10 million copies in 3 days, which is outstanding. I mean, wow. But outside of that, there's not much else going on. So it's not like I have a ton of things to discuss or anything like that outside of the topics I've already addressed. By the way, official first day with my new setup now completed. This is going to remain like this now for a bit. I will still change the background every month, with art and stuff. But for the most part, what you see is what you're going to get. An awesome lighting system.
I like that he spent $100 or so on that foam so that it could blend into the wall and be almost completely unnoticeable. Very, very big-brained idea there. I love buying shit that's going to completely blend in and be useless.
We have so many topics to discuss today.
Because the acoustic foam was never actually going to make a difference to the quality of the content, right? Like, he didn't actually need acoustic foam. He's got filters on the microphone. There is no reverberation from the room. It is literally for the visual aesthetics, and it looks like shit, and it blends in, is almost unnoticeable. What was the point, dude? What the hell was the point? Yes, and Snood, the annoying GIFs cycling every 5 to 10 seconds was a complete waste of money. The GIFs look like shit. The images look like shit. It's 60 by 60 fucking pixels. That thing costs over $100 as well, and there was not anything actually gained from it. At least when he first put it out, and I seen the picture of it, right? He had his YouTube stats on there, very strange, egotistical style thing to put up. But like now we've got this character doing a little shimmy dance in the background every once in a while. That's not distracting. Coming from the guy who was always talking about how RGBs are incredibly distracting and you can't focus. Well, now you've got this image that is constantly changing in the background to distract you. Isn't that incredibly cool?
And by the way, let's just start addressing the bottom of your screens. As you guys can see, I've once again updated my leaderboard system based on your feedback. The feedback that I got last week was that they liked the changes, but it's kind of confusing. What I mean by that is, so number one, we had 11 straight streams where I have crushed my support goals here on DSP Gaming, and of course,
he should have played Subway Surfers on it for sure.
Amazing.
For sure.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been coming by, watching, engaging, and supporting.
Yes,
with
that
my
hat
content.
guy. It costs over $100. I think I want to say it was like 119 or something like that.
Engagement, they're sky high compared to what I used to get.
I looked it up the other
really
day
that is
when he got it and I seen it, because I was like, this is stupid. As soon as I seen it, I thought it was stupid.
It's gonna, again, if I said, if we can keep this going, this streak of hitting all of my goals every stream, seriously, this could be life-changing for me. This could actually allow me to do things that I've had to put off for years and years. This could allow me to have more time with my family, which I really like. So let's keep that momentum going. If you like the content I'm doing, please support it. Now, what I tried to do is fix this over here because there was big confusion last week. You know, I had newcomers coming to the stream for the first time. Thanks to those who are newcomers coming and watching my content and enjoying it.
So many newcomers, you guys.
But they were confused because I was like, let's hit the goals. So they would come in and they would do a super chat or they would give memberships. And I'd be like, thanks so very much. I really appreciate it. But then I wouldn't update the total. And they'd be like, what? What happened? Why didn't that count? Because this is a goal for tips, you see? Tips through PayPal. Now, I appreciate everything else. And by the way, super chats, memberships help this channel a lot. This month,
who would have thought giving DSP money helps a lot, you guys? Make sure to continue to give as much money as you possibly can so that he can buy more of that going on there in the background.
Crazy, crazy positive for me, okay? But the daily goals we're talking about are the tips goals here, all right? So if you like my content and you want to see me crush the goals, please tip via PayPal. The link is in the description of the videos and or the stream. And I will shout you out, but I'll shout you out no matter what you do. It doesn't matter what contribution you put. If you prefer not to contribute via PayPal, you want to do a super chat, you want to do memberships, I get it, and that's totally fine. Thank you so much to everyone who is supporting me in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Thank you, thank you. So hopefully now this clarifies a little better.
It doesn't. It doesn't because it's an incredibly stupid process that he's got. And I've never seen anybody else on the entire platform point out the difference between supporting them on, you know, whatever other website, whether that be PayPal or Patreon or whatever, as opposed to giving them super chats on stream. I've never seen another content draw a difference. There's no reason to. It's just more complicated for being more complicated, which he loves to do. He thinks that it makes him sound like a very legitimate businessman when he draws distinctions like that. But it's really just obnoxious and makes everybody more confused because nobody's ever done it this way. Also, you might have noticed, I have put a black bar over his little leaderboard. I used to not care about it. If it was in frame, it was in frame. If it wasn't, it wasn't. I don't care. But because recently he specifically asked people to include it, I'm excluding it as much as possible. So anytime it is in frame, it's going to be blocked off. Ack. It's like a Streisand effect or something. You're welcome, DSP.
And will not have as much confusion.
I'm petty.
All right. Also, one of the main changes that I have made is that now I do shoutouts live during this podcast. I didn't used to do that. But I've decided to start doing it. And in fact, we start off today already with $40 in tips that I did before the show started. And now we have a $10 tip that just came in. The king demands your contributions. Let's go. From an anonymous tipper. So thank you, tipper, for the anonymous $10 tip.
Hi, Kevin.
FYI, yes, we will have reward goals in place. But I would prefer if we kind of wait till the end of the show to have those reward goals in place because I have a lot of topics to cover and everything. And, you know, putting on gunner glasses when I'm talking to the camera is kind of weird as opposed to me doing it during gameplay, which is the intention and, you know, stuff like that. So I promise you, you will get your rewards like gunner glasses or if you qualify for a hat or a vest, but we'll get it when the podcast ends. We'll do the polls. Okay, cool. So we already hit tier.
Bro, think about that scam real quick. I promise you're going to get your goal, you guys. We might have just hit the $50 tips goal right now, and I should be putting on glasses, but I've got so much to talk about. I couldn't possibly wear glasses right now, you guys. That would be way too distracting given how many topics we have to go over. Just think about how stupid that is. You can't talk and put on glasses at the same time. And it's not even like the hat where he thinks that he has to take a poll and figure out what kind of, hat people want him to wear or whatever, which is incredibly stupid anyway. He should just put one on who really gives a shit. But it's not like that at all because he only has but one pair of glasses. Brother, just put the fucking glasses on. What are you trying to do here? It's an actual scam. They paid for something and they're not getting it when they paid for it. Scammed. Ack. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I do not know. Thank you, Jordan, for the 5. How do I feel about Doody? I personally can't thank him enough. I don't have an issue with Doody. I don't really know the guy. He puts out the clips, which is cool. That's really all I got. Like, like I said, never talked to the guy. Don't know him personally. Never reached out either way. So just another detractor in the sphere. Big ups Doody, obviously. Thank you for the 5, Jordan. And Aaron Hines with the 6 months. Woo, nice, yay. Glad to be a skeleton. Well, I thank you for being a member of the 60 Skulls for 6 months.
What
Big
in
ups,
the
brother.
goddamn?
Thank you.
Tier 1 tips goal. Let's try to hit tier 2 as soon as we can. Let's go. Get those crushed. And let's try to get it to King Streak 12 as soon as possible. All right? And by the way, if you're here live on the stream, we currently have over 500 people in climbing and 94 likes. Let's hit 100 likes right now. If you're here live, please hit like. Hell, you know what? There's enough people. Let's hit 150 likes right now. Everyone click like if you're having a good time, because now let's begin with the meat of the show. All right?
Nice little fist
So,
right there. I don't know what that's supposed to
We have an
indicate.
elephant in the room to discuss. Ladies and gentlemen.
Small nitpick, but these are the things that you actually have to look at when you watch the pre-stream, right? Because there's visually nothing else is really going on screen aside from the guy. You don't want to look at his abysmal background.
Now let's begin with the meat of the show.
What is
all
this
right?
finger thing he's got here?
So
We go from the prayer hands, totally classic prayer hands. We love prayer hands. I'm a big fan. I do prayer hands in real life. I'm that guy. I'm him.
we have an elephant in the room.
What is this
to
little
discuss.
finger wiggle?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Never in my life
Our
is this an
buddies
action
over at
I've
Kino
done.
Casino, right? So something happened yesterday. Well, 2 days ago, actually. I take that back.
Good
Crap, that's not what
lord.
they were all right, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Something happened a day or two ago, and it
The
actually
brightness
happened
on his TV when he fires up his PC is insane. Like an actual flashbang went off in his setup.
during
That's
a live stream
wild.
of mine,
Couldn't be me.
and it threw me for a loop because people were talking to me about it, and I was like, I don't know anything about it. Like, I actually have no idea what you're talking about, right? So I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know what people are talking about. And so I looked into it after the fact, after my streams on, hold on 1 second. You're gonna hear, okay, good, it didn't autoplay. Not the autoplay and everybody. Where is this video? Here it is. Okay, hold on. You might hear audio for a second. They didn't. Okay, so I fixed it. All right, so.
What is this stream, dude? He got on talking about, oh, I've got so many topics, you guys. I know I'm pausing a lot, but this whole pre-stream is going to be this. I apologize. He got on stream hyping up. Oh, I've got so many topics, you guys.
What in
I
the
couldn't possibly
goddamn?
put on the glasses. We got to move quickly. We don't even have the fucking videos pulled up, boss. What the fuck do you mean you got a bunch of topics to talk about? Like legitimately, it takes all of 5 minutes beforehand to pull up the 3 different tabs that you have to pull up, and you couldn't even bother. But we're so busy. We're real legitimate business style adults, you guys. Can't pull up 5 fucking tabs before the stream is on. Couldn't do it while talking either, because apparently opening web pages is an impossible task while looking at nothing. Crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy,
basically,
crazy.
You may have heard that the guys at Kino Casino uploaded a clip of them basically belting me, insulting me to their clips channel while I was streaming on Wednesday. And you might be like, well, that's kind of weird because aren't you guys kind of like friends now? Like you've been on their show. They seem to like you. Then you did a whole co-op react event to the Rich documentary. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I mean.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay.
I had to quit watching the
Let me
casino.
go ahead and just do it full screen. Hold on. There we go. Oh, Jesus.
Nice,
Don't look at that.
nice.
Okay. So, this is what I mean. This was the video that was uploaded during Wednesday's broadcast when I was broadcasting, okay? And people started mentioning it to me in my chat, and I was like, I have no clue what you guys are talking about. All right, I'm busy broadcasting. I don't want to hear.
Good morning, Kanye.
Right? So after the fact, I looked into it. All right, and this is what they uploaded on Wednesday on their Kino Casino Clips channel. So basically, I finished my broadcast or whatever, and I looked into it. I was like, oh, it's this clip. All right, now I already know about this clip. For the record, this is a clip that was taken off of a show of theirs from like last month, like the middle of last month. This was long before we had ever had any kind of a discussion together. This is obviously before I appeared on their show, before they had publicly apologized, for
before, bro. This was literally 1 month ago. 1 month ago was long before we ever were in conversation or planned on doing anything. 1 month. These were their thoughts 1 month ago before talking to you. Just let that sink in. Would you be doing collab streams and co-oping with people who were literally your ops 1 month ago? Who were being incredibly disrespectful to you and your wife, or reacting poorly to whatever this video is? I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen it. Not watching Kino. Would you be, cool with these people after they just talked shit about you 1 month ago? That would make it like 2 weeks before they were doing a stream together. That just doesn't make any sense to me, and incredibly pathetic and sad, if you ask me. But what do I know? I'm just a detractor, stupid. Thank you, Retro Jim, for the 5. Me and Doody should do a collab sometime. I think the conversation would be good. I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, never talked to the guy. Thank you for the 5. I'm not usually one to reach out, not gonna lie. It is, talking to people is not my strong suit, despite doing this often-ish. Jordan with the 2. Thank you. Isn't it pathetic he gets more dollars than likes? Yeah, I would say so, given that likes are literally free, but when you've got $75 coming from one person and you can only get 1 like from that person, it does kind of make out all the same, doesn't it? So, very cool. Thank you for the 2.
You might wonder why
DSP doesn't care about the likes, though, obviously. Only cares about the money. Money.
All of a sudden, in the middle of like late August here, if we're supposed to be cool, like why would they have had a razzing clip or a clip that kind of insults me?
Why would they have a razzing clip?
Truth is, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I don't really care. I already was aware of this, and things have already happened after this clip, right? That are way more positive. So why would I care, right? So I just let it go, and all of a sudden, it's like late night Wednesday night. Okay, Andy basically sends me like panicked messages.
This is cringe.
Bro, I just want to let you know. There's a clip that was released on our Clips channel today. And, this is from an old show. This is from mid-July. This is not from anything current or anything we just did. But obviously having the clip released now kind of makes it look like it is new, even though it's really not. This is from like an archive show. And basically what happens is our Clips editor edits clips from our old shows for filler content. They didn't stream too many times this week so far. I think they only
DSP
once
pig explaining how a Clips channel works.
Coming out on their Clips channel. So what happens is their Clips editor goes back and finds clips from their old shows and uploads it to their Clips channel as kind of filler content in between. So they always have something new in the pipeline.
Yes,
says, this
meaningful
is something that we
filler.
already had in the pipeline.
I really like. I do really like the idea of somebody going to DSP and saying, "Hey, this wasn't recent. This is just filler content." Obviously, like people always acknowledge outright when their channel is just filler nonsense because they have to get something out. I love that. Very cool. Very cool. I should start doing that. I should just go grab clips from the streams of yesteryear. Over the past year, actually, and I should just start uploading those as filler content, obviously, because Atlas is so behind on the videos. That's big brain Andy over there. Let's go.
Even think that this, would have come out like this, and that people would like basically be like thinking that this is something that's right now, but I guess that's what's happened. So he goes, I just want you to know, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to make it be like an insult to you, and we've taken down the clip.
Cucked. Actually cucked by DSP.
Like, I read it, and I went back to Andy. I was like, dude, relax. It's fine. I don't care. This doesn't bother me in the least. I already knew you guys had made these kind of comments about me before in these clips. You're not the first. You're not the last. Since then, things have changed. Has it not? We've met each other. We've talked. We've hung out. We've had a good time together. And you guys have publicly apologized for this behavior. So why would I care? right? Like, why is this such a big deal? But I guess Andy was afraid because, you know what it is? It's my haters.
Andy was afraid that he was going to ruin their illustrious friendship with the guy. Wouldn't that be so? That would just be the saddest thing on the planet, wouldn't it? Andy was literally fearing for his life, you guys. He thought the DSP was going to murder him or something. I guess. I don't really know why he would be fearful, but whatever.
What a grand
Aaron Hines, pick up for the 5 gifted. Very cool, very cool. They didn't take down the video, it's still up? Oh, so this guy literally doesn't know what he's talking about. Awesome, awesome. Because my first thought upon hearing this is that while I don't personally agree with the way that the casino has taken this arc, I don't particularly care for it, I find it incredibly obnoxious, I cannot fault them for going and getting the bag, utilizing DSP to make money. Like, that is kind of what they do. So if they're gonna do it, like, that's their grift, that's their grift. But to bow down to DSP and take your video down that was up because you were fearful that it was going to ruin your op is incredibly cucked and just not something that I could ever get behind or endorse. That's a crazy look. And I really would imagine is not good optics, but I don't run their channel. I don't really know what they're going for. So I don't know what the end game is, but it's not a good look.
Stupid detractors, right? They got to spin everything in this really toxic way. So to the detractors, oh, you see, this was actually the plan all along. These guys were planning to snake Phil by putting out these clips. It was all a plan, a sinister, evil plot by Kino Casino, right? And the funny part about it is, if you could see the difference in attitude, they actually went out of their way to actually contact me and apologize that this went out, and then they removed the clip. I didn't say that they should do that. They just did it because they felt like it was the right thing to do. And I went back to them and said, nah, put it back up. There's no reason you have to remove that. That's ridiculous. You know, that's the path. The past is the past. Things are very different right now. Put the clip back up. So they did, you know, with my blessing. And I even put a comment on the
there's
video.
The confirmation that if it was taken down and it's up right now, that there was a high possibility that they got the king's blessing to put it back up, and so they did. Cocked.
You know, making fun of everything. I just think it's so silly that my detractors are so dumb that they have to turn everything into drama when it's not. It's all just jokes. Nobody cares, right?
Nobody cares, you guys. No, it's all jokes. Nobody cares unless you're not the casino and you make a slight, you know, criticism of DSP, in which case you're a filthy detractor, you know, dreg of society, bottom of the barrel, offer nothing to this earth, demonetize yourself now. But that's for later on in the video. Replace demonetize, obviously.
That is true. They themselves put a big pinned comment on that video. Wow. We're 141 likes, by the way, guys. I said let's get 150. We're at 141. Let's get those 9 more likes, all right? But yeah, they themselves put a comment on
I did forget Mount Drooler. You're right. A classic.
Relax, we're all cool. But of course, people still got to make a mountain out of a molehill, right? So anyway, no, the Kino Casino guys have not snaked me. They have not turned on me. In fact, it's quite the opposite because I have some very fun, positive, interesting things to announce right now. So prepare your butts, all right? This is going to be a
prepare
cool
your
one.
butts
But in the
is
meantime,
incredibly cringe.
Perry the White has gifted 10 memberships to the community. Hope you guys enjoy those. And Bloom Kid just did a super chat. He says they fear King Phil's wrath. They need to bow. It's not like that.
It's not like that, but that's exactly what the scenario was that you described. They took down the video out of fear, according to Andy, right? Like, we're playing telephone here. We're however many degrees of separation. I can't count that high. Is it 2? That's the fucking situation that he's described, but that's not what it's like, you guys. It's not like that at all, obviously. It's only the way that I said it. Jesus Christ.
Again, it's not like that. As I said, at all. It's all fine. I gave them permission to do it. I don't care. You know, they were afraid that it was going to hurt my feelings.
God damn it. Thank you for pointing out, Visible Dimwit, the display in the background right now, because the chip on the fucking, on the stupid little display is the worst. It wasn't funny when he did it. It's obviously just a poor man's way to try and tie himself into the casino. It's so obviously what I want to call a grift, to associate himself with people who are obviously more successful and relevant than him. It's just terrible, brother. It's just bad. I don't even know what a GeoCities GIF is, Snood. That doesn't make any sense to me. I probably wasn't alive when GeoCities existed. I'm looking it up
as I
right
said,
now.
at all. It's all fine. I gave them permission to do it. I don't care. You know, they were afraid that it was going to hurt my feelings, so they removed it of their own accord. They didn't
It's a
even do
web
that.
hosting
We're all good.
service?
All right, everything's fine. All right, so let's talk about what's going to
I don't
happen
even
now
think
with
they
the guys at Kino Casino, and then we're
exist.
going to talk about what happened the other day when our collab got canceled. So as you know, our collab got canceled the other day. We were going to do
Doesn't even exist anymore.
Chain Together.
Let's talk about boomer
Mudar,
stuff in chat,
and a
you
lot of people were
guys.
very disappointed. You know, me included, right? I'm so sad because I wanted to do it and it was going to work out and it was going to be fun. And then all of a sudden, Mudar canceled. It threw the whole thing into disarray. So I ended up just playing more Black with Wukong. Well, we have rescheduled. All right, we have rescheduled. The show, the co-op, will now take place this coming Saturday night on the time of my late stream. So normally my late stream would be 6:45 p.m., you know, specific gameplay starting between 7:15. My late stream will...
And I need to hear this again. I need to hear this again because I caught this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he says that it starts at specific time.
All right, we have rescheduled. The show, the co-op, will now take place this coming Saturday night.
Saturday night.
On the time of my late stream. So normally my late stream would be 6:45 p.m., you know, specific gameplay starting between 7:15.
Brother literally called his own time zone specific. What do you, like, I don't even know what to say to that, man. This guy, he's just not an effective communicator. He doesn't think about anything. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about. It's just nonsense every day like this. You don't accidentally say specific time. Because it's not even like he's like midway through the sentence or anything, or he's talking quickly. It's very slow. Like I have him sped up and he's still slow. How is he fucking up Pacific time? The time zone he resides in.
My late stream will be Chain Together co-op with Ashton and Andy from Kino Casino. Now what we're going to do is we're going to broadcast each other's perspectives. I'll be broadcasting my perspective here.
Chain Together is an incredibly fun game, by the way. I would recommend playing it with friends.
So, if you want to see both perspectives,
DSP's probably going to be terrible at it.
To jump back and forth between the two streams, right? That'll be cool. I don't think I've ever... I mean, yeah, I've done streams like that with Street Fighter and stuff, but to do a different game would be pretty neat. And by the way, this game, if you've ever seen this game, if you ever saw the game Getting Over It from back in the day, you know, it's like that game, only it's full 3D and it's zany graphics and controls. It runs, you know, crazy on my PC.
I don't... That's not even an accurate, like, it's not an accurate comparison at all, either. Like, Getting Over It was the game where it was like the guy, he was like half kettle pot, half dude, and he had a hammer, and you had to, like, you know, he's thinking, or at least I hope he's thinking, about Only Up, which was that other game that is it's literally chained together without the chains, where you go only up and you climb a bunch of stuff. That's actually the game that this could be compared to. Getting Over It is nothing like this game aside from resetting or possibly having to fall a far distance and go back up. That is actually the only comparison there, where Only Up is quite literally the same game with a different theme on it. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but guys, it's got zany graphics. It's literally a completely normal 3D, you know, third person action style climber. I don't know what that could mean. And zany controls where you quite literally move with WASD like you always do, and you jump with spacebar. You know, kind of like you always do in games, actually. So zany controls, but don't worry, you guys, it runs great on my super PC. Thank you, Spartan Possum, for the 5. I really appreciate it. Spreading the love, unlike Phil, working overtime for me actually means contributing to society. Keep up the great work, Atlas. Working 6 days a week. I hate working 6 days a week, but sometimes you got to do it. Big ups for being a productive member of society. And thank you for the 5, brother.
I already tried it out, and it's very silly. So I think it's going to be a good late night stream, okay? Now, to clear the air, it's just going to be me and the guys from Kino Casino. We're not going to try to wedge it
What
forth
in
at
the
this
goddamn?
point. The thing is, we want to give you this gameplay because we already promised it. And then with someone canceling, it kind of threw it into disarray. It doesn't make sense to keep trying to say we're going to do it with a guest and then, you know, something happens and it gets canceled. So Saturday night, it's just the 3 of us. All right. I hope you guys are okay with that. And that's tomorrow. Because people are saying, when is it? Tomorrow or next week? Tomorrow. That's tomorrow night. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Here, my stream will start. We'll probably get the gameplay going
Tonight,
by
actually.
7:15.
Me and ALT are going to be there.
Okay?
Ag.
So that's tomorrow night here on DSP Gaming. special late night stream. Okay, that's going to be very, very fun. All right. Now,
A lot of prayer hands today.
Update regarding the guys from Kino Casino.
Oh,
right?
no, we're doing the finger
As
stretch thing.
One of the topics that was tossed around when I was on there,
because he's got carpal tunnel,
and that we've been talking about behind the scenes, is a possible interaction and discussion between myself and the owner of Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon. Okay, I have history with Kiwi Farms for many years now, and it's not good. All right, Kiwi Farms, the people on there are some of the vilest people on the internet when it comes to their behavior levels. They have doxed myself, my family members, my neighbors, people who just casually associate with me.
It's almost like you're toxic or something.
My wife has absolutely nothing to do with our life today. They have put up, personal information. They've put up fake personal information, acting like it's real, and then saying that it's true. And then, of course, everyone believes it because they're gullible idiots.
I had to get that little sneak diss in there. All of the information that they put up that's accurate, whether it be people's personal addresses, literal doxing, or just personal information from, in the past. The one thing that we do have a slight dig on is that it's obviously not all completely verified, and sometimes there's some information that is not accurate that gets believed by the other people that are also on the website and in the sphere. Gotta take a dig at that. Do you want them to be accurate all of the time, DSP? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're pissed off that it was inaccurate. So all of their information should be 100% verified and just destroy you every time? That's the world you want? Okay. That's fine if that's what you want. I wouldn't have asked for it this way, but it's whatever.
I mean, every day, there's still more nasty stuff on that site about me, okay? To the point where some of it actually is criminal. There's criminal stuff on that site that, eventually gets removed. But it does get posted, okay? Now, rather than go into massive detail about this today, all right? You ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, this coming Monday, coming up, so that's going to be what? The 26th? August 26th, okay? I'm going to do a level 1 podcast right now in the morning, just like I normally do. After that podcast ends, I'm going
more
off
prayer hands.
Because in a one-time only event, a special event, I'm going to appear on the Kino Casino show, and I am going to have a discussion with Josh Moon live about all of this.
Oh my God, you guys. He's going to talk to Josh Moon. Aren't you seething and coping and molding? Aren't you utterly felted? He's going to talk to the guy from the farms? I mean, the guy that runs the farms. He's not from them. He runs them, but like... And it's so strange to me that he wants to do this bad enough that he's willing to not do the day stream. Like, I thought the day stream was kind of the sacred cow, right? We have to do the day stream every day. That's where the majority of the money is made. That's where the gameplay actually happens. The majority of the gameplay, whatever's left of it at this point. But we're just giving up on the day stream now because our priorities are talking to Josh Moon on the casino. Like, this really shows you where DSP's priorities are lying more and more every day. We're abandoning our own stream and our own viewers to go on to a completely different website that we've talked shit about in the past to go drama farm on somebody else's stream. That's just not the DSP we had a year ago. It's just not. Which is fine if that's what he wants to do, but I just can't believe that he spent so much time shitting on this style of content to inevitably make it himself. $6 Gabagool special with the 5. I thought it was 6, brother. How am I supposed to buy Gabagool like this? I appreciate the 5. Thank you. Love the videos and streams. Shout out Atlas and Doody. Well, big ups to Atlas and Doody. Very cool. Appreciate it.
And I think this has been a long time coming, all right? Now, here's the deal, and here's the difference between how this conversation is going to go and other interactions that Josh Moon has had. I'm not going to come at Mr. Moon with massive insults and offense. I'm not going to come with threats.
We love Mr. Moon.
There's a lot of people who've had stuff on that site that they just immediately have said, this guy, how dare he run this website? Here's what I want to do, and this is the truth. I just want to get the honest story out of Josh. I want to know, how did Kiwi Farm start? How did it become what it is today? Why does it still exist? If he knows the stuff that gets posted onto that site, I want to hear it from the man himself. Right?
Then watch his fucking content, dude. Noel literally has a channel that you can go and watch whenever you want. I'm pretty sure he does a weekly show where he talks about a bunch of different lolcows, and I'm sure at some point in there, he's explained a bunch of these different topics. I remember when I first moved out into my apartment with my old roommate, my roommate was a big fan of Mad at the Internet, and he would watch it, and I would sit in the living room and watch it with him over dinner or whatever. You garner a lot of information like this. If he really cared about these topics, he would just go and watch the content instead of trying to involve himself to learn information that's already out there. I don't know, like, aside from the money aspect, aside from tying his name to the Kiwi Farms, a very strange thing to want to do, I don't really see what the advantage is to doing this. I don't see what DSP, gains to benefit here. He's not making the money off of the stream. He's not making the money off of his own fucking stream he's supposed to be running. And I would imagine he's going to be felted by Josh Moon, who's going to obviously counter every single question and criticism that he has. Because Josh Moon is well-spoken and has at least thought out his stances on things, regardless of whether or not you agree with them. I don't get it, man. I really just don't understand how we've gotten to this point now. And it's all Casino's fault. He's seething.
Rather than hear second-hand, third-hand, 10th-hand hearsay baloney through my stream chat and other, I want to talk to the guy himself, all right? Because I want to get it from, as they say, from the horse's mouth.
Josh wants cat. Yeah. We love our feeder boy.
I'm sorry. My personal opinion is I find it very hard to believe that the stuff that happens on that site is justifiable. Okay? I'm just sorry. Because some people say, oh, well, it's First Amendment and it's all that. There's one thing about First Amendment, you can speak up and criticize something. You're able to go out and say, oh, I don't like this political candidate or how the country's being run. There's another thing about going somewhere and literally slandering and defaming someone with insane amounts of vitriol, things that can actually hurt their life, crimes being committed and information being dumped that never should be public.
90% of the information on Kiwi Farms is public information. Like, as much as I personally don't agree with doxing, I think it's poor form and this is just internet dumb bullshittery. Like, this information is out there. If these people wanted to go and get it, like, it's entirely legal for them to do so. Gathering it all up in one place is entirely legal for them to do, as far as my understanding of it is. As much as you can disagree with it, as much as you can not stand for it, like, I don't understand what the argument is here, and I think that's exactly what Josh Moon is going to tell him, and he's not going to be satisfied, and we're going to go nowhere. We wind up talking in circles for 100 years because DSP fails to understand that despite not liking something, that it doesn't make it true. I don't know. I'm so confused at this pre-stream. None of these goals make any sort of sense. Gengar Green with the 2, Mr. Moon, you are someone who, exactly. And that joke is going to be used in this pre-stream, and it's going to go right over his head, boss. Right over his head.
Completely doxing innocent people, and all that kind of shit has happened on Kiwi Farms. So the conversation is going to happen on Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to go offline on this show, and we're going to go right over, and I'm going to go live on Kino Casino, and this is happening during the afternoon. Instead of my normal afternoon stream where I do gameplay, I'm going to appear on a special edition of Kino Casino with Josh Moon. All right? So that's
very
Monday,
cool. I'm sure your gaming audience will love that.
All right? So tomorrow night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, my late stream, Chain Together co-op with Kino Casino. And then on Monday, special appearance on Kino Casino, the Josh Moon discussion will happen. All right? That's pretty cool, no? Now, obviously, this is going to throw my schedule into disarray. So what we're doing is I'm going to adjust the schedule. I have to do it formally later today, but to give you an idea of what's going to happen with my schedule for the week. So today it's Black Myth Wukong and Street Fighter 6 on the late stream. Tomorrow, it will be Black Myth Wukong again as the daytime stream, because now I'm not
just another terrible schedule segment. You guys love the schedule segment, but me, I hate it.
Sunday is still my normal
I'm allowed to be different
day, where it's going to be me reacting to clips on my first show, DSP versus the Internet, on my DSP Reacts channel. And then at night, we're going to head over to DSP Throwback and do a nice late night chill stream of retro react to me playing PS Home from 2012 on the PlayStation 3. We've done this for 2 weeks. Each week has been fun. And I'm looking forward to chilling with all of you again on Sunday night. on my, that's my very small channel. That's basically my passion project. I don't make much or any profits on that channel. It's just for fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I really like having the whole React day on Sundays. Monday,
I don't.
I will do a
Yo, the reacts are just the worst. Like, I know that I stream the reacts and we have fun, but I cannot express enough how miserable the reacts really are if you're not watching somebody else's stream. If you are, I challenge you to try this on a Sunday when nobody else is streaming, because, you know, don't take away from the boyfriends. Enjoy your boyfriends. But just try one time to watch the react by yourself all day long. It is just fucking miserable. There is nothing worth anything in there without other people talking.
Podcast here. I'll be offline and go over to Kino Casino, and I will appear on their show in the afternoon. That's going to be the conversation, me and Josh Moo, about Kiwi Farms. All right. Now for the rest of the week. All right. Basically, what I need to do is juggle everything, and it's going to be difficult. No lie, it's going to be difficult to try to juggle everything that I want to do.
Clown College is paying off right now.
I'm thinking Monday night I should do something more laid back because people are going to want to talk about that Josh Moon appearance, right? So maybe we should do Monday night is do like some Stardew Valley, because that's a stream where I can talk with you constantly when I'm playing a game. So that's probably what we'll do, is like a Stardew Valley stream on Monday night. And then probably what we'll do is juggle stuff. So like Tuesday will be Black Myth, and then maybe Tuesday night we'll do like Street Fighter, and then maybe like Wednesday, you know, I'll throw in a stream of System Shock just for variety, right? And then Thursday will be Black Myth.
Gives a shit, boss. Come on.
Now, however, this is a 7-day streaming week for me, meaning I'm here today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 7 straight days. Why? Because my wife's work schedule keeps changing, and it changed again. So I'm going to be here all week. Now, the only problem with that is that this throws a big monkey wrench into my plans, because
a big monkey wrench right into the
Friday,
plans.
August 30th, and I can't be here on Friday, August 30th. That's my next day off to spend with my wife to run errands and stuff. Okay? So that means any new releases that day, I have to play the next day, Saturday, the 31st. And that includes Star Wars Outlaws and the Black Ops 6 beta. Now,
because God forbid we don't play Call of Duty, you guys. That game that we shit on every single year and say that they never change anything and that they're just putting out AAA slop so that everybody will fucking buy it and they'll waste their money and people are supporting bad business practices. We have to play the pre-order beta, you guys. We just have to. We have to get in there and get those day one views, and it's just nonsense. It's all bullshit. Everything this guy has ever said, he doesn't stand on. He doesn't mean any of it. He's just a flip-flopping ass bitch through and through. Not a single goddamn moral in his body. It's all about making the shittiest content for the, I want to say, the most amount of people, but if that were the case, he'd actually make good content. It's all bullshit.
I'm hoping for is that the Black Ops 6 beta will release a little early. We don't know currently exactly the times that it's going to go live. If it goes early a little bit, maybe I could play it on my late stream on Thursday night. That would be excellent, because I want to jump in and see what is it like on my gaming PC, 120 hertz, 120 frames. But I don't know if it's going to be available for me in time for that late stream on Thursday or not. I don't know if it has an exact time and or date yet. Like, we know the date is supposed to be the 30th, but we don't know if it's going to be one of those deals where you can play it early and stuff if you're in a certain time zone. So got to get information on that, all right? And once I do, I will share it with all of you.
And by get information, he means check Twitter. I just want to make that very clear. I don't want him to, like, this is another one of those ways that he tries to phrase something to make it sound more complicated and informed than it actually is. He's going to be checking Twitter every day like he always does, because he can't get off of social media as a 42-year-old man. But he's going to be checking social media constantly to get information about video games.
But essentially this week the gameplay will be a balance between Black Myth Wukong, maybe a little bit of
and suddenly he's not afraid of peer-to-peer connections. You guys are right. I'm seeing that in the chat. That's why we couldn't play Fightcade. But now peer-to-peer connections in Call of Duty are totally fine, and nobody's going to steal his IP address, which I can't condone. Please don't do that.
Shock remake, all right, and go from there. Now I'm being told, is this true? Star Wars Outlaws is the 27th. I'm not aware of that. I was told that it was the 30th, unless maybe. Okay, hold on. Look here.
Okay, hold on. We got to get this information live during the pre-stream.
Steam, is it? That's right. It's going to be through. Isn't it going to be through like the EA thing? Yeah,
that's literally not even an EA game.
All right, well, I guess we're going to have to talk about that.
It's a Ubisoft game.
I don't know if it comes out this week. Maybe I will get it then. I don't know, but it's going to be a tough week. It's going to be a tough week to balance everything, because there's so much going on this week that we have to figure that out.
And all he would have to fucking do is Google it. Like, I know that he opened Steam to try and check the, he tried to check the release date through Steam, but all you have to do is Google it and we're done. We have the information. It's not that complicated. He tried one thing and immediately gave up. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not that complicated. He makes everything seem harder than it really is.
Then you can play.
That's the catchphrase for today. I don't know.
Maybe the 26th, right? We'll do, my podcast, the Josh Moon, appearance on Kino Casino, Stardew Valley at night to kind of, what do you call? Decompress from that. And then maybe the new game on Tuesday we'll play.
Wait, we're doing a decompression stream?
On this week. That we have to figure that out.
Okay, big sip, big sip.
Yes, I'm being told if you get Ubisoft Plus, then you can play it early. Well, maybe I'll do that then. Maybe the 26th, right? We'll do, my podcast, the Josh Moon, appearance on Kino Casino, Stardew Valley at night to kind of, what do you call? Decompress from that. And then maybe the new game on Tuesday we'll play Star Wars Outlaws as the first premiere stream on Tuesday. There you go. That works. I'll get Ubisoft Plus for sure. We just got to figure out how you get all those games.
I'll shell out for this subscription service that I don't particularly care for from this company that I constantly shit on that makes nothing but terrible games. Of course, you guys. What a good idea that is. Let me support this business practice. Fuck yourself, brother.
Right? I don't know how you do it. Ubisoft Plus on PC is even cheaper, says Add the Gamer. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's probably what I'll do. Is I'll get Ubisoft Plus, and I'll play it Tuesday as the day stream. So then I'll probably be balancing Black Myth Wukong and Star Wars Outlaws this week as the gameplay streams. There you go. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll talk more about this as we get closer to it and everything. But all right, sounds good. So that's my.
And I thought he's gonna bring it up later, but I'm gonna say it now because it's in my brain and I'm gonna forget later. He's gonna do a decompression stream after the Josh Moon thing where he's gonna play Stardew Valley. You guys remember when he gave the side scrollers so much shit for doing a decompression stream because they didn't get his blessing? They didn't get the king's blessing is the real issue. They didn't ask him for permission to talk about him while he wasn't there. Did DSP get permission from Josh Moon preemptively? Has he already reached out and confirmed? Because if not, he's the exact same person that he bitched about. Imagine that. Isn't that crazy? DSP the hypocrite. Who would have thought, right? It's just another shining example of all of the ways DSP will talk shit about every other content creator and expect to be treated differently.
Streaming week, guys. Now, there is one other thing we got to talk about before we get to our other topics, which are very important. I know many of you were here for those topics. All right. My documentary with June the King is impending. All right. So.
Yo, and impending is a crazy way to phrase that. That sounds doom and gloom if I've ever heard it.
The target date, all right, to try to get it released is by the end of this month. But
it's impending. The end of the DSP space gaming world. The end is nigh.
The confidence is not there that it's coming out at the end of this month. Let's put it that way. And you might say, well, I don't understand. It's a video on YouTube. How doesn't he know when he's going to publish the video? Well, yeah, but there's a big problem. It's a 4-hour documentary, guys. 4 hours.
That's the problem.
One of the
4
longest
hours.
things June has ever done. In fact, I think it is the longest thing June has ever done. The likelihood, all right, that he's going to upload this video, all right, which isn't done yet. It's not done. Like he says, he's just finishing it. Still has to finish alt editing and processing, all that, right? And then he's going to upload it, and it's going to have 0 problems on YouTube. The likelihood is almost 0, right? Like it would have to be the planets must align, the stars are in a certain rotation, and people are like making sacrifices so that this thing would actually launch and not have an issue. He basically thinks there's going to be an issue with it. And if that's the case, then he's going to have to go ahead and fix it. Does he have to re-edit a part in and out? Probably. Because he wants it to be live and monetizable. Listen.
He has to edit a part in and out. As somebody who's edited a video here or there, I'm not quite sure what that phrasing specifically is supposed to mean, and I'm not convinced that DSP does either. He's going to have to edit a part in and out. Like he's going to remove it and put it back in? That's not how editing works. Like at all, actually. So
I totally understand where he's coming from.
You totally understand.
Some of the content that I put out, especially my DSP throwback channel, almost every video gets demonetized for no good reason. And then I got to sit there submitting it for monetization, review, and it takes upwards of 2-3 days for YouTube to look at some of these videos. So I get it. He wants the documentary to drop by the end of this month, but there's no confidence that it's going to. That sounds to me like likely it's going to go live the first week of September. In which case, if that happens,
and this is all just fucking speculation and a waste of time, dude. What are we doing here?
Black Myth Wukong and Star Wars Outlaws.
He's been hyping this shit up for weeks, if not months at this point, to just continue to speculate when it's going to come out.
Says, will you react to your documentary? And I say, yes, I will. But, you know, okay? So, FYI, it's coming. We just don't have a definitive answer yet as to when. And when we do, I'll let you know, and we'll go from there. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Way,
sounds good to
record, me. No, there's not going to be any stuff in this documentary about my redemption arc. This redemption arc has only been, what, 2-3 weeks? The documentary covers my time up until, like, a couple months ago. I'm telling you, people are like, so, oh, it's going to have a redemption arc ending. It's going to be a happy ending for Phil. This documentary is going to be completely negative. It's going to be mistake after mistake, problem after problem, all these issues. That's what it's going to be. So just expect it. It's going to be me essentially self-felting myself for a week every night as I react to this documentary. Just expect it, okay? Expect it. I don't see anything else but that coming out of it, all right?
Expect it.
Okay.
Expect it like you expect Jesus to come back.
184 likes. Guys, we have over 600 viewers. Let's get it to 200 likes right now. I want to say thank you to Some Kind of Taco, who became a member this morning as well. Thank you so much. And guys, remember, if you do contribute, I will give you a live shout out. All right? Let's hope that by the end of the podcast today, we can hit at least that tier 2 King's Tips goal of $100. All right? Cool.
Update, we're still at $50. We've been at $50 since he refused to put on the glasses. And I've seen somebody ask, am I going to be reacting to the June arc? And that is a fantastic question. Because while part of me wants to say no, why would I do that? June the King documentaries are not designed for me. I've spoken about this in the past, but very briefly, they're not for me. I don't particularly care for his delivery. I already know most of the information, so it's going to be a lot of a bullshit waste of time for me. I also really don't want to watch 5 separate DSP reacts to it in order to, you know, have that extra layer of separation. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm thinking about it all the time, and I just can't figure it out.
Let's do it. What's up, Jay? Jay just is here. He says, I hope you hit your 12-day streak today. Me too. It would be awesome.
Yes, dude, that's probably what it'll be. That's too bad, and I'm just going to watch it, and I'm going to like it. Yeah.
Keep the king streak alive. Exactly. All right. Now on to other topics, folks, okay? So, as you guys know, we were supposed to do a co-op stream on Tuesday night. And when I say we, it was supposed to be myself and the guys from Kino Casino and Mudar. And it was going to be chained together, and we were good to go until Muda basically canceled very last minute. He canceled around like 3:30 p.m., and the stream was supposed to be at like 7 p.m., So,
which I want to say for the record, that is not last minute. To cancel the day of is kind of rude, but to give the 3-hour buffer window is incredibly gracious if you're going to be canceling the day of, right? It's canceling the hour before. It's canceling 30 minutes before you're supposed to be on. That is actually an issue. 3 hours, low-key, I wouldn't even be upset about. 3 hours is a reasonable amount of time. Hell, when you call into work, or at least where I work at, you only need about an hour's worth of notice to when you're supposed to start your shift. So I think 3 hours is totally fine. Yes, or canceling and pretending you have diarrhea. That's what Mudar should have did. Instead of deleting Twitter or having some sort of family crisis to deal with, Mudar should have just said that he was going to shit himself and that he couldn't show up for the stream. And of course, that would have been the more optimal strategy, and DSP wouldn't have taken any issue with that at all. You're right. Redbird with the 2, do you feel engaged with this arc or disinterested? Oh, it's engaging. I just, making content on it is very strange because I really don't want to listen to it twice, but I don't have anything to say if I don't watch it once, you know? So it's put me in an odd predicament.
Kind of scrambled, couldn't get it to come together, and we canceled it. And that's why we're doing.
Thank you for the 2, Redbird. Thank you.
Tomorrow night, you know, as my late stream, okay? So what happened? Because here's the thing. It was so weird the way this went down. So it gets canceled, right? And basically that night, I messaged Mudar. I DM'd him on Twitter. And I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know, I hope everything's okay. No hard feelings that you canceled or anything. You know, I just hope that everything's all right on your end. And I wish you the best. And that's all I said. I didn't get any answer. All right? So it's very weird. Basically, an entire day is going by. And people the next day are asking me, what's going on, Phil? I don't know. I have no idea, you know, what really happened or why he canceled. well, you know, like I said, we were going to try to reschedule or whatever. All right. So all of a sudden, it's like late Wednesday night. And incidentally, I was actually talking to Andy about the YouTube video that we just saw earlier that the Clips channel posted up. And as I'm talking with Andy about this, he goes, "Can you see Mudahar's Twitter account?" And I said,
Oh shit,
Hey, good
Aussie
morning,
Turtles
Craig.
Gaming. I'm so sorry, I did not see that. All right, I seen it and totally spaced on it. $10 from Aussie Turtles Gaming. My bad, my bad. To Atlas Bookkeeper and all the detractors out there, you're doing God's work. If I ever did this, I would be blocked off YouTube. I can't put into words how much I despise this man at the moment. And then he sent another 2 saying you sent 10. I apologize so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of the kind words, obviously. My bad. I feel sad that I did that to you.
"What do you mean?" And I went over to his Twitter account, and we're looking, we're like, this account does not exist.
Oh, what?
We had just
A
been
Twitter
talking with him,
account
you know,
no
day
longer
before.
exists?
The account does not exist.
Tell New
And
York
just to
Times,
show
you
you,
guys.
now if you search
Mudar
for it,
deleted his
it's
Twitter?
a blank
Huh?
page, right? It doesn't even show up. It's just blank. And at the time, so this was Wednesday night, you know, Andy and I were talking, and we're actually kind of freaking out. We're like, uh-oh, like, what just happened? Please don't tell us now something crazy is happening to this man, just as we were supposed to be doing this co-op. So now, obviously, the entire internet's going to be like, oh, what happened? He's going to do co-op with you guys, and now he vanishes. Like, what did you do with him? Did you kidnap him? Did you throw him in a closet? No, like, we're not involved, right? We have nothing to do with this. We don't even know what the hell's happening.
Why would that be the first assumption, that they kidnapped him or whatever? I would imagine that most people would assume he just didn't want to do something with DSP. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. I think that would be the actual assumption. But obviously, DSP's not going to say that, right? DSP's not going to, oh, Mudahar didn't want to work with you. He wanted to snake you the whole time, so he quit out. Like, whatever. I do want to point out, because I think this is way more important. DSP's people you might know, or people you might follow, or however Twitter works over. This is that section, right? We've got Small MILF Jess, very cool. Donut Operator, which he makes the cop style content where he looks at people getting beaten up by police or whatever. This is a fun time. And Daigo. Like these are the 3 assumptions from Twitter for DSP. Very strange lineup that we've got here, right? Very odd, very particular.
We're just as in the dark about it as everybody else.
Yeah,
But of
Cat
course
is
we had to
punching air
have
and
our-
crying downstairs right now.
our
Small MILF
event
Jess
canceled
is
right
on his
before all
screen.
this crap happens, right?
We should click on that
So-
instead.
Basically, yeah, his account is gone. And everyone on the internet is freaking out about this, right? Wondering what's going on. Well, yesterday, Mudahar put out a video on his channel explaining
Yo, I was listening to this audio style yesterday. Bro, why does Mudar do this? Every once in a while, his hair, gets longer or whatever, and he shows up in content looking like this. Like, the shirt, I guess, is fine, but the hair, brother, brush your shit before you hop on the cam. Like, I don't know if you're going for the I don't care look, but you look silly. You look just completely distraught, which, granted, if you're going to be working with DSP, I would be as well. But you got to put it together a little more than that. It's the Sonichu medallion that actually makes sense. Life in shambles after you put that mug on. I was hearing that a certain Dukem was looking to get one, and I totally agree he should, and he should let us know how that goes for him.
what actually happened, okay?
Now, Wesley H with the 5. This entire Muda segment is a waste of air because he uploaded a video explaining why he deleted his Twitter. This is pure drama and time wasting from him. I agree, and I thought that during the segment, but I did think it was incredibly funny that he is pig-splaining something that somebody else already posted about and already got 300,000, almost 400,000 views on. Anybody who gave a shit about this either already knows about it or didn't care to begin with. So I'm not quite sure what the point of this was, but I like that DSP decided to pig-splain it.
And basically, in a nutshell, I'm not going to watch 13 minutes of this. In a nutshell, he explains that basically he's had enough of Twitter, or I should say X, because that's really the real name of it now, right? That basically X has become a toxic cesspool. Every time he goes on there, he's got 1 million people insulting him about his race, which is fucked up. I mean, he's Indian, right? People are saying these horrible slurs about him and stuff. and he's just had enough.
No slurs on
Like,
Twitter.
Yes, I get content from X.
Who would have thought?
But it seems like increasingly it's very more polarized. It's either ultimate all the way to the left or ultimate all the way to the right. Everyone's always at each other's throats and accusing you of being the villain. And basically he's had enough of having this kind of extremist behavior being thrown at him, you know?
And I'm seeing it in chat. I'm seeing it in chat that this is all speculation. I want to say I did see something from a Mudar account that said that it was a lot of political nonsense on his Twitter as of late, specifically against Indian people, and he got tired of reading it. And I don't have that saved in my computer. I saw it mobily and didn't bother to save it because
what
who
in the
gives a shit?
goddamn?
But I want to say that I seen that. So is it entirely speculation? I couldn't tell you. Was that a real account? I don't know. But that you're right, that is not aimed at him specifically. It's just random Indian racism, which if you take issue with on the internet, like maybe the internet's not the place for you. Not that that's, you know, should be the stance, but like you can't control everybody on the internet, and that's why you delete your accounts. So I guess he made the big brain move there. Very cool, very cool.
Now listen, I 100% agree with him on some of these topics because I barely use Twitter, right? For years. Why? Because my haters turned it into a toxic cesspool. And it doesn't matter how many times you try to, you know, I'm going to block all these people, I'm going to report them. It doesn't matter. It just continues. You can't really stop it, right? When there's a mob against you, there's nothing you can really do about it. And I'll be honest with you guys. Since Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X, it's worse.
This
There's
is
more
Elon
of
Musk's
that
fault,
behavior, and
obviously.
There's tons more ads on the site that just make it almost unmanageable to even use at this point. It's very hard to even get the feeds I need to try to get news for this show. Okay, it's hard. I get so much crap in my feed that I don't want instead of useful information.
Then don't go to Twitter for useful information. That was a fucking boneheaded move from jump, brother. I don't know how you ever pieced that one together. You try and run an accurate fucking news show about video games or whatever, DSPN. It's got a logo and everything, you guys. It's totally authentic. Totally not a ripoff, by the way.
Goddamn?
But he wants to run this actual, you know, piece of information, and he gets all of his bullshit off of Twitter. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Hoskew with the 5. I'd rather pull the sword of damnation out of my own head, a la Midra, than have to watch another second of this awful coffers content. So insufferable. Well, that's exactly why we're here, boss. I hate to do it to you. I appreciate the 5, but we're here to suffer. We're the kings and queens of suffering, obviously. Masochistic style. But I appreciate the 5 nonetheless. Big ups, Hoskew. Vaporware 336 with the 8 months. Yo, Skeleton's not going to spoil anything later in the stream, but looking forward to Phil and the incredible self-felt by a very special detractor. Oh, we're going to get there. Maybe later rather than sooner, because I can't stop pausing and talking my bullshit. But we're going to get there one day. Skycrow with the 7 months. Big ups to my man. Keep on the content. Hope you're not working too hard. Never working too hard. In fact, never working enough. So I appreciate the 7 months. Big ups, brother. Thank you, thank you. A real one. Tuna Sandwich with the 2. Didn't DSP make an Indian curry joke last week? I don't recall that specifically. Big if true, but I don't recall specifically. Thank you for the 2. Somebody find me that clip. Jamie, pull that up. Redbird with the 2. Muda deleted his Twitter to hide from Phil. Ack. Well, if DSP was knocking your DMs down, you'd probably delete yours too. Let's be honest here. You don't want that action. Thank you for the 2.
So, the way I see it, I have absolutely no issue with him deleting his Twitter, but the way he went about it was very odd. If you're going to delete your Twitter, at least make a post. Hey guys, FYI, within 1 day I'm deleting this account. I don't want it anymore. I've just had enough. But don't worry, I'm not dead, right? No one killed me. No one got me nuked off this site or anything. It's my own choice.
Not dead. Whose Twitter account gets immediately deleted upon death? Is it tied into your heartbeat? The second that it registers that it didn't beat for an extended period of time, your Twitter self-deletes?
Whereas he probably also has a hater base, but he's got a huge amount of people who follow him. And when he just disappears from a certain social media platform, people are rightly going to be concerned about it, right? And I think that's really what it was. The internet wasn't like shocked, oh my God, look, he got banned. I think people were worried for him that something might have happened, you know? So basically, and he says in this video,
you know what?
It's fine.
And Snoot, after you phrased it specifically with Dead Man's Switch, that sounds incredibly based, and I want one. I want all of my accounts rhythmically tied to my heart on a dead man's switch, so that the second I go, everything is eradicated from this planet. That is actually a big brained move. I want my legacy to never live on. I want everything I've ever done on the internet to be for naught and just disappear. Actually, an incredible plan. Very cool.
I just don't want to use it anymore. You can find me on other things. We'll talk about that in a second. He says you can find me on Reddit. You can find me on my Discord. But also that people had contacted his significant other, his wife, on her socials.
Think of all of the space we could save on servers if that was a reality.
Listen, especially a lot of you guys, you already have like business arrangements with me. You know how you can reach me on other social media platforms like Discord or Reddit. Why would you be messaging and spamming my wife in regards to this, right? I have to agree there. If you already have this guy's contact info, why the hell are you asking a significant other for an update? Just wait for the man himself to answer you, right? However, just to be completely frank on this is why.
To be frank, shout out Frank, of course.
Media. This is exactly the reason. Because everyone always asks, Phil, why isn't Kat on Twitter? Why isn't she on YouTube? Why isn't she on Reddit? Why isn't she on these things? Why can't we talk to your wife? This is exactly the reason why.
Because he's a controlling, manipulative piece of shit who doesn't want her to have outside world exposure, obviously. Like, that's the legitimate reason. As much as she would get shit from other people about the guy, like, obviously that would happen. This is a two-pronged problem here. It's not entirely, because of all of the weirdos on the internet. But whatever. We can pretend that it's all the detractors' fault and that we're a victim perpetually. That's fine. It's just another day in the life of the guy.
She wants no association with anything regarding, people with me on the internet. We have our own life that's completely separate from my public persona and business to the internet. We like keeping it that way.
She wants to be completely separate from something that I've built my entire life and has paid the bills for the past 16 years. I want you to think about that for a second, right? DSP, YouTube, prolific content creator, been at it for 16 years now, was, top of the food chain back in the day, huge legacy he's always on about, a lot of legacy content people still want brought back, and she wants not a single fucking thing to do with any of that nonsense. Like, even Kat understands that this man is just a blight and a plague on the internet and just doesn't even want to be associated. That's crazy. And it's different. I think it's different when you're a smaller content creator and obviously your significant other has nothing to do with your socials or your content. That's fine, right? Because you haven't based your entire fucking life on it. But DSP has. It's been the only thing that he's had to his name for over a decade, and she wants nothing to do with it. How sad. She can't even be an actual co-op partner in real life when it comes to his business. Awesome. What a strong form of support he's got behind him, right?
People permeating every moment of our personal lives, right? Can you imagine if one day I got sick or something and I didn't post up that I wasn't going to be on stream and my stream didn't go live, but my wife had social media, she'd probably get 50,000 people harassing her over it, right? Like, where's Phil? That's why we don't do that, all right? She purposefully wants to keep off of the socials just for that reason, to avoid harassment, to avoid this kind of interjection, especially with my detractors, okay? So I completely, utterly understand where he's coming from, but I do have to say, I think it's weird the way that he went about just deleting it cold without any warning. Of course, people are going to wonder what actually happened, and that's the result. People freaked out, okay? So no, it had nothing to do with me, it had nothing to do with Kino Casino, thankfully, all right? But I will say this.
Okay.
We had
he will say this. He just went on like a 10-minute diatribe about all of this nonsense, but he has nothing to add. He has nothing to say except that he will say this. Like, what the fuck was the point of the first 15 minutes then? Legitimately. This video already exists. He's posted elsewhere the reason as to why, and yet DSP thought it was imperative that he get on his own stream for about 400 people to explain why Mudar didn't show up, why Mudar deleted his Twitter account.
Cordial conversation where we had both apologized to each other about our behavior, and we had outright said, yeah, let's do a co-op, and agreed to it. And now this guy deleted his Twitter. So he says, oh, well, you could still contact me on my Reddit or on my Discord. I don't have Reddit. I don't use Reddit. I'm not going to use Reddit. I don't have his Discord. Okay. I have no way to contact Muda about anything.
You could.
So sadly, unless that changes, he would have to reach out to me, obviously, because I don't know how I would get that information. I have no way that I could ever do like a future collab with the guy or even have a conversation, because I think we were just talking about maybe just having a conversation in the future, a normal conversation, I have no way to contact him now. The only way was via Twitter. Okay, so
he's tried nothing, and he's all out of solutions, you guys. He has nothing left to try after trying nothing, because his Twitter account was deleted. He very clearly said, I have Discords, you can find me on Reddit, and if DSP cared enough, he could sift through the content, he could look up, you know, just a simple Google search will probably return results about where you can find Mudar on other social medias. He could talk to the Kino Casino, because I'm sure they have him on Discord, because DSP has explicitly stated that they use Discord for their streams, and Mudar has been on their channel before, therefore they would have his Discord. It really is not complicated. It's not worth talking about. It's not a topic of discussion, but DSP has made it anyway. Just the best pre-stream you ever seen in your whole life. This is what the people come for. This is what they give the money for. This is the king you're looking at, and the just bottom of the barrel slop that he puts onto the internet. Thank you, Izunia, for the 5. Remember, conveniently, she cut off contact with everyone upon moving in with Phil. He doesn't trust her to not expose company secrets. No phone either. Does she not have a phone? She has to have a phone. She's got a phone. There's no way. But you're right. She did absolutely cut off all contact as soon as she got with the guy. It's just the way that it had to be. She's a liability. She can't be trusted. You know what they say. Loose lips sink ships. And unfortunately, due to all of the food, her lips have never been looser.
We'll see what happens with that. But panic, you know, no reason to panic. Crisis averted. You know, nothing to really see there. And,
nothing to see.
Hopefully, maybe I'll get some information.
Wait. Crisis averted. Nothing to see there. What? All right.
To this guy later, but
Whatever.
I don't know how I would go about it, because you know me,
Fine.
I stick to my own shit.
Fine.
You know? Okay.
What
I
in the
received a
goddamn?
$2 tip from Chris. Will you be playing Visions of Mana? Probably not. I don't see how on earth I'm going to be fitting that game into my schedule this week. I know it comes out this week. I am interested in it. It looked quite good. But considering the fact that I'm struggling to even stay afloat with the stuff I'm doing, we got all this special stuff coming up, including my documentary. I don't see myself playing it right now. Maybe in the future. Okay? Don McLean just did his second super chat of the stream. He says, thanks for the streams. I'm looking forward to this upcoming shows with Kino Casino. Can you ask Triple P if Godwinson regrets snaking the casino? He's a big fan of yours. I have no idea what any of that means. Not normal. I remember that when I'm on the show. But I do appreciate
Godwinson, I guess.
Chat. You could always try asking that in the chat when the show
He did,
live,
in fact, snake the casino, from my understanding.
I don't know what that means.
ESP has no idea what anybody's talking
Okay.
about. He's always just so confused as to
All right.
inside jokes.
On to the next topic, folks. This is a big one. All right.
Is that, Stuart asking, is that a reference to something? Yes. Godwinson is somebody who was formerly friends with, I believe, Ethan, Ralph, and PPP back when they were doing that together. And I guess he had picked other people over working with PPP or continuing to work with Ethan and Ralph or something like that. I'm fuzzy on the lore. But yes, Godwinson is a person who had done wrong to the Kino Casino. Very cool. It's out there if you want to look it up. But DSP, as much as he loves the casino and they're bros now or whatever, he's completely oblivious to all of the lore himself. He has no idea what he's ingratiated himself in and the kind of nonsense that comes with it. Like, I just want to make that as abundantly clear as possible. DSP has no fucking information about the people that he is deciding to tie himself to. And he wonders why everybody is always telling him that he's going to be snaked, that they're going to turn on him, that that this is the calm before the storm, because he just has no fucking clue the type of people that he's dealing with.
By the way, guys, 215 likes. We have almost 700 people on the show. We're about to talk about Keemstar. Let's get some more likes. Let's hit 250 likes right now on the stream. It's free. It's easy. Just click like if you're having a good time, okay? And also, let's hit this tip skull. Let's hit $100.
Let's hit the tips for you guys. Come on.
All right? Thank
Got
you so
to.
much. Please support the stream. Let's hit stream 12 in a row, crushing the goals. Felting the detractors, right? All right. Here we go. So ladies
Here we
and
go.
gentlemen,
Felting the detractors. Demi-Fiend with the 2, reporting someone on Twitter. That's funny. Yeah, it is. Imagine reporting somebody on Twitter because that you didn't like what they said. Like, it fucking matters, brother. You're on the internet. Demi-Fiend with another 2. What do you like, or what do you dislike about DSP the most, and why? Well, as of late, it's his overinflated ego that really stems from nothing but fluffing from people who don't have his best interest at heart, very obviously, if you ask me. Even if they
Hey,
are
good morning,
genuinely
Kanye.
being nice to DSP, it's all for the grift, which I don't know why he would have any respect for. And usually it's his hypocritical nature where he holds himself to a completely different standard than everybody else and expects everyone to kiss his ass at the same time. That's usually about it. If we could just get around those things, and also the lying, obviously. Lying is incredibly cool. I always say if you're going to be a scammer, if you're going to be a piece of shit, terrible, evil villain style, just acknowledge that, be forthright with it, and if people still rally behind you, like, it is what it is, just don't lie about it. It's just pretty lame, actually. Thank you for both twos. I appreciate it.
Yesterday was my day off, and I've always told you guys this. Everything always happens on my day off. Never, ever does anything ever happen when I'm here, because that would make sense. I'm here working, right? But no, it has to always happen on my day off, when I'm trying to relax with my wife, when I'm trying to run errands and get shit done. That's when the crap hits the fan with every possible thing, even the most unlikely shit, correct? So, what happens yesterday, I never expected. I know it's unprecedented, unbelievable, right? Like, holy crap, who would have thunk?
Who would have
That
thought?
what happened yesterday would have possibly happened, all right? So I get wind of this, actually, from my moderators of all people, because...
Pay very close attention to what he is about to say, because there was so much information that is not disclosed that you can very clearly see, given the information that he does give.
I was actually just kind of casually...
He was casually
doing stuff on and off between little times that I had times to do stuff, all right?
So he's doing stuff casually on and off while he had time to do stuff on his day off, which I thought were just packed to the brim with appointments and errands that he had to run all day and that he never got to relax or spend time with his wife. But now we're very casually doing things for the stream and checking up on things on the internet when we have time.
And it just so happened, my wife was getting ready for the day.
She was getting ready for the day.
Or whatever, and I'm like, all right, let me just open.
So this was early enough in the morning, right? So this is early morning. DSP has found time before his errands or whatever. Cool. We're following. It's all good.
My phone for a few minutes and see what the heck's going on the internet.
Checking our phone. Very normal.
My moderators are kind of freaking out. They're like, are you aware that Keemstar just made a video about you apologizing publicly for his behavior? And
so we've already stated that we have enough time to look into whatever our mods are saying. And I have to ask, what mod, like where are these mods reaching out, DSP? Could it possibly be a moderation style Discord that might exist that you've completely claimed didn't exist for the past how many years now? Could that possibly be where all of this conversation is coming from? But this would also indicate that we have Discord on our phone. Something that we claim that we don't know how to use and we're not familiar with at all, but we have the mobile app? Something's just not checking out here. I don't know if I'm looking too deep into this, if I'm wrong about the Discord assumption, but I don't know where else these people would be reaching out to him, given that he doesn't ever check his Twitter DMs, as he stated previously, explicitly, that he doesn't read any of that shit because it's all nonsense. Where else could you reach out to DSP other than an email? Are his mods emailing him this? I find that hard to believe. I really do.
I was like, no, and that seems kind of unlikely or weird. And I'm like, well, I'm going to check it out for myself. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before I even make a single comment about it, I think that we should watch it together live, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we just give it a clean watch so that way it can't be misconstrued in any possible way, right? So here it is. First of all, we'll watch this, and then I'm going to tell you, how I reacted to it here, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, unedited, pure, unscripted. He's blocked, by the way. He's blocked on Twitter. Let's see what Keem has to say about me. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
Dear Dark Side Phil, DSP, I owe you an apology. I do. Last night, I was just being a
good morning,
hater,
Kanye.
and worse than that, I was being hypocritical. For those of you that don't know the context, we were watching a Review Tech USA exposed documentary last night. There was a section that came up between DSP and Review Tech USA, and my chat was...
For the record, I don't know what documentary he's talking about. I don't think this is the June the King one, because I don't think there is a section in the
I
June
thought
King one
this
that's me
was
versus
no
Rich. But
commentary.
he must have been watching a different documentary. I don't even know which one.
Spamming DSP
Sorry, I was on the other
is
side of the
king
room.
because he's having a redemption arc right now because of the casino. And I basically said something along the lines of, you guys can all like have this little troll that he's king, but that guy's still a loser and he's going to remain a loser. He's always going to be on level 1, da 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 da.
And that's the proper response. That is 100%. When you see people talking about, oh, DSP's the king, you guys don't know, I'm a casino dent, and this is what I was told to say and think in order to continue their grift, that's about the only response you can have. And even then, it's not even worth addressing. Everybody knows that this is nonsense bullshit that has completely come out of nowhere and is undeserved in every sense of the word. DSP is still an utter lol cow. He's never going to be anything but, regardless of whether or not people are fluffing him online.
And
his actions aren't
this morning I woke
undone
up
by
thinking
people's
about that, and I'm
opinion,
like, I am just being
even
a
though it's
fucking
false.
hater. I'm just being a hater. But more than that, I'm being hypocritical. What is lolcow live, right? Part of it is redemption arc for Wings and Boogie. You know what I mean? So why am I hating on someone else having a redemption arc moment? Like, that didn't sit right with me. So I owe you an apology, Darkside Phil. I may think in my head that you're not going to take advantage of this opportunity and you're going to end up right where you are, but I shouldn't hope that. I shouldn't put that energy out there, right? So yeah, I know we have our differences and whatnot, but I was wrong to shit on you last night and shit on the moment that you're having, and I apologize. Dear Dark.
All right, very cool.
Okay.
Very cool. A very backhanded apology, but an apology nonetheless.
Unedited, no commentary from me on it whatsoever. I felt like the best way to approach it would be to do an honest playing of what it is. So you guys now have heard what he had to say, and you can judge for yourself. Okay. By the way, I'm being told the documentary he was watching was by someone called Mikey No H More, Mikey NOHMORE. So it was, I guess, now that June opened the floodgates with his documentary, you're going to see a ton of rich documentaries coming out there, I would guess, right? Okay. Couple quick shout outs, by the way. Some Kind of Taco did a $5 super chat. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you. And did we hit it? We're at 234 likes, guys. We have almost 700
We got to do more begging,
Let's
obviously.
hit 250 likes right now. All right? Thank you, guys. All right. And Helly interested in super chat.
We need more likes,
I know your
guys.
game isn't for you. I know the game isn't for you. Could you see yourself trying out Monster Hunter Wilds in 2025? It's a maybe. I'm not
Monster Hunter Wilds looks fucking cool.
I like the Monster Hunter universe, but
I wish I would have had
as I said
friends
many
to play
times, I
Monster
tried
Hunter
playing the
World with
beta
when it
of
came
Monster
out.
Hunter, whatever the last one was, World, years ago, and no one liked it. People literally told me on my stream, stop playing this beta. It's incredibly boring, and I only played it the one stream, and that was it. So really, it's about public opinion, not about me and what I like. I guess we'll see next year what happens with public opinion. Okay? Okay?
I hope all of the dweebs that I know that are looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds allow me into their group to actually play for once. That would be very cool. Very cool. Somebody was asking in the chat, can we get DSP's chat possibly? No. And I'm gonna blame Raw Phil. We love Raw Phil. But the quality up from yesterday and gonna be up until Wednesday is at 360p. And I just don't, I'm not going to watch 360p video. That's not going to happen. I live in the modern age. Okay. While I can listen to that auditorially, I'm not going to visually look at it. I'm disgusted. So up until that gets fixed, there's no saving DSP's chat. I'm not going to go out of my way to do that because I'm not even typically home when DSP's actually streaming. So no.
So I have played this apology from Keemstar in its most honest, unedited form, right? There's no way that you can say that I spun it in a way. I didn't comment on it. What I'd like to do is I'd like to actually take a look at
Redbird sent me
what I posted yesterday, because I basically quote tweeted it, right? And I said, should I respond to this? And by the way, this is all I said about it all day. Should I respond to this? And what I'd like to do,
and that's such a strange thing to do, to ask people if you should respond to it. Why does it fucking matter whether or not other people want you to respond to something? If you want to, do it and make it a part of your content. If not, why are we talking about it at all? Why did we post it up? Why did we give it the light of day? I don't understand let's say that he didn't respond to it. We've just given Keemstar space on our page, showed him to our fans, showed him this video of him.
What in
gave
the
him more
goddamn-
views, more retention to not talk about him. Okay, if that's your game plan, I guess. Redbird with the 2. The best pre-stream happened when in the bunny shirt. This is true. You can go back and look. Ever since we've made the change in clothing, the bunny shirt is best shirt. You're always asking which vest is podcast best, and you're never asking which shirt. So maybe you're asking the wrong questions. Hosky with the 5. Watch him read the poll results from Dents dumping on Keem while he wasn't there to defend himself. Thought the side scrollers doing that was blasphemy. Oh, we're gonna get there. Because for those of you who don't know, we're about to read a shit ton of useless Twitter, might as well be eggs, responding to something. I can't, I don't want to spoil too much.
Just go through and actually try to get some public opinion.
This is my
If you
least
guys
favorite
think
part
that
of
I
the
should
whole
actually respond
stream.
to Keemstar or not.
This
So
is
we'll just go all
actually
the way to the bottom
insufferable.
here. And we're probably not going to read all of them, but we'll try to get through them here. So we got, no, LOL, Keemstar is begging on his knees for you to entertain his dead show, LOLOLOL. Just don't let him worm his way into getting you on his show unless you want to. You should glaze him like you did on Side Scrollers. You're
Based.
a grown man, figure it out. How do you not realize after all these years you're being trolled by Kino and all of this is just an entire saga? No, Keem is a slimy bastard that is just trying to cozy up to you to get you onto his quickly dying podcast. You're still a level 1 beggar. I don't think you even have a 1-up on Rich. Well, there you go. But that being said,
Hey, shout out,
That being
obviously.
we're 5 likes away from 250. And it would be great if we could get some
As
tips
we-
on the stream.
Keem's dead show. We're actively acking at the fall of Keem, apparently, while begging for likes on stream. When's the last time you seen Keemstar beg for likes on a stream? I'll wait for an answer, because if you genuinely have one, I'll be impressed. But I don't know that anybody does.
It would be really great if you could fill the King's coffers today. If we could get some kingly tips here on the stream to hit the goal, that would possibly empower the king. All right, on this topic. All right, so let's get some tips going. All right, let's continue. Don't king, you are better than that. Oh, now you think you have friends. You're getting all brave. Go cry in a car park. That's an interesting one. Go cry in a car park.
Is the, like, right over his head? He just doesn't get the reference. He doesn't know what you're talking about. You've factually actually just dunked on him, thrown his past in his face to flex, and he just doesn't even remember. I guess. Imagine not remembering how big of a coward you are that you physically cried in front of other people at the car park. Couldn't be me. I'd rather be dead.
Ignore this peasant. He's jealous of the casino and wants to ride your coattails, your majesty. I mean, you
What up,
just
movie
did.
sign?
I did. All I said was, should I react to it? Asking someone if I should react to it is not an actual reaction. Don't you like, I just played it, and I absolutely added no commentary. I did not react to this yet. Okay?
But he did literally add commentary. Like, and this is the nonsense bullshit that throughout every single pre-stream, every time I cannot stand it. It's irritating. It really is. When he says shit like, oh, I didn't add any commentary, but he actively paused the fucking video to talk about that he didn't know what documentary they were talking about and that it was from somebody named Mikey H Knows More or something like that. Like, completely irrelevant, not an actual reaction. But he did fucking pause the video and talk over it to give some sort of information. You did add commentary. It just wasn't fucking useful.
Yeah, he's being a man about something for once. You just did, and false. Shit on him, King. Built him hard. Or be nice, because he seems somewhat sorry. But it could be bait just to get you to talk to him. Good luck, King. So either utterly destroy Keem, felt him entirely, humble him, or be extremely nice to him because he could be telling the truth. This guy covered all the bases. Why bother asking? You've never taken anyone's advice. You always do everything correct. I mean, that is true. I did nothing wrong. I do everything correct. That is absolutely true. That's why I don't need a redemption arc, by the way. He is not worthy. All right? Why would a king ever bother responding to an insect? Wow.
Insect.
I mean, now, I'm not saying that Keemstar is an insect by any means, but even a king sometimes has to respond to an insect. If it's like buzzing around and bothering, he's like, swat it away or whatever, you have some spray, clap it and squish it or whatever. You know,
DSP's dusty ass kingdom has insects flying around in the throne room.
Although again,
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I'm just saying.
I wonder if his throne room has also got fucking mold in the broom closet. Now that's the real question. The insects are a guarantee, but the mold, that's the bigger question.
A king sometimes would have to respond to an insect. Okay. I don't even know who this is. It's muted. I'm not going to unmute it.
The ants took over.
I think so. Keem did act negatively, but he showed true, genuine remorse in this video. I hope you two can shake hands in the future and amend your career. To amend your career, excuse me. Plus, you're way better than that fat, bolding, druggy RTU dude. Fat, bolding. Bolding. Okay. By the way, thank you, Flaked and Baked. Flaked and Baked just gifted 10 memberships to the community. Thank you, Flaked and Baked. Anyone who's getting those,
prayer hands for the
enjoy.
10. All right. Appreciation style.
You won't. You're too afraid to. Okay. Phil, this is just my take. I would be amicable and bury the hatchet, but I wouldn't take any offers to do any content with him. It's just my opinion. You can forgive someone, but not want to be associated with them. It's a good point. To be fair, all right, I will say this.
Before he says whatever he's about to say, please note in your mind that DSP's content went from talking about the schedule, talking about how he's moving on positively, how support is really appreciated, all the new games that are coming out, it is completely devolved into reading completely unrelated and useless replies on fucking Twitter. This is the content that he's glad to be putting out now. This is his redemption arc. We're literally reading fucking Twitter, dude. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, and they fell from reading a fucking schedule.
The Kino Casino guys pitched to me that I should do the Change Together co-op with them and Josh Moon. And I told them there is no way I would be willing to do that until we had a conversation. I need to speak with Josh. I need to feel this out.
Yeah, I've seen somebody say that he's just Boblax now, but I don't know who Boblax is. I only know the name.
Business for the last 5 or more years. There's no way I'm going to be doing gameplay with this guy until I speak with him first. You understand? So in this case, you know, he's saying don't do any offers to do any content with him, right? Like, just to be fair, there is no way I would do any real content with Keemstar.
Yeah, I know low text, but I don't know who Blowbacks is.
Like, there's no way. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Blowbacks.
Yeah, we have to talk about.
I mean, you can do that if you want.
Okay. No, don't complain for donos on your stream. All right, I will. Guys, thank you so much because we have hit 250 likes on this stream. I really appreciate that. We can get some more. I mean, we have over 600 viewers, and I'm sure that at least half of you are not pocket watching hater losers. You know, really detractive, waste of life shitbags. So if you
really
like to stream, if you're not like that and you're a good
waste
person,
of life,
that would be great. That would help a lot.
Got it.
And of course, as I've already stated, thank you for the support I'm getting here. It'd be great if we get some more tips because I'm trying to hit that tier 2 tips goal by the end of this podcast. Okay, so let's do it. All right, let's continue. All right, wait, what? Keem Jewish Star? The star.
I love this
David?
part. Yo, we love Keem Jewish Star. And I thought when I cut the clip for this segment that adding the Star of David style emoji onto the thumbnail was a bit much. I thought it was a bit far, a little on the nose, but I'm so happy that I did it because this really is my favorite fucking part of the whole show. As insufferable as reading the comments is, Jew Star going over his head is one of my favorites. Big ups.
Keem Star of David isn't even worth being pissed on by you. Really. He's not even worth being pissed on by you. Wow. Some of these opinions are something else. Again, I haven't said a word yet. I'm just reading what the public is saying about this situation, okay? Maybe be a man.
I haven't said a word yet. I'm just reading everybody else's opinions.
There you go.
And then responding to them.
Real men literally
which is kind of how that works.
Other opinions and consider them before making their own decision. They just rashly jump to a conclusion or make a rash judgment. You know. Of course, that's what real men do. That's right.
Well, Snoot, and he's not even saying a bunch of insults and laughing. He's saying a bunch of insults and actively replying to each and every single one of them to justify their position or to debunk them. So he is actually saying a bunch of shit that is relevant to the actual post as a response. But he thinks just because he's responding to a reply that it doesn't count or that, you know, or something, however he's got to pignatize himself, you know? It's just nonsense bullshit. It sucks. It's actually bad fucking content.
Anyway, Keem is just swapping out the vinegar for honey, manipulating you, buttering you up to once again try to entice you into failing Lal Cow Live. But now you have a different energy, and he knows that he can't shame you into it, so he's going this route. Okay? Here's a good one. DSP right now. Oh! Well, I don't know what he's talking about. All I see here is that Mr. Marsh here, he's seen a spooky ghost. And he was completely slimed. There's ectoplasm everywhere, and Keem is watching live and actually reacting to it. So I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Let me rewind that real quick so you guys can, for those of you who clip things like this.
Okay? Here's a good one. DSP right now. Oh!
Use that wherever you'd like. Just anywhere, everywhere. Also, I like that this is ectoplasm. Despite I thought ectoplasm was green, like, you know, slime style from Ghostbusters. But if this is what DSP thinks that ectoplasm looks like, if this is, you know, getting gunked on by ghosts or whatever, it's no wonder that he's a big fan of Ghostbusters. This is his dream then. He wants to be Peter Venkman or whoever the fuck the Ghostbusters are. Don't know, never seen the show, never seen a movie, I mean. You know, this is his dream. This is what he wants. Big fan.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. All I see here is that Mr. Marsh here, he's seen a spooky ghost. And he was completely...
Oh, that was actually Randy's excuse? I don't remember that. I guess debunked.
Slime, there's ectoplasm everywhere, and Keem is watching live and actually reacting to it.
Belted.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. The fuck is all this about? It's clearly... I'm clearly out of the loop. All right?
DSP's an avid South Park watcher, then? I didn't see that coming from the guy. He hates comedy.
You saw through his BS when he tweeted a job offer for you at Lolcow. At this time, I wouldn't respond. I would just accept his apology for his words last night, understand he's still a snake, and move on. Call him washed out. It's what he is. Look at this one. Keem apologizing, recognizing the king's status. What timeline did I shift to? This is fucking rad. I don't know why he has like a giant chain chomp from Mario 64, but okay. I wouldn't bother. He's being really, obviously superficial. Fuck no. Get this gnome out of the court of the king. There's no need to, king. Take it for what it is. Keem is beneath your royal stature anyway. The wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. Wow, we got some interesting takes on this. The wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. Sheesh. Why don't you put the...
Yes, Bode. He reads every fucking reply. Literally every single one. It's kind of insane. For those of you who haven't seen it, spoiler.
We're
not done yet.
That sounds familiar. I might have heard that one somewhere. I didn't watch
show. Shout out Copeside Phil, obviously. Gout him.
Answer is no, never respond to Keem. Why not? Someone posting up my most embarrassing moment from 2016. Like I haven't seen this about 70, 80,000 times. He needs to put on a clown costume and makeup. Oh, Keem? Keem needs to put on the clown costume and makeup, you're saying. So he needs to dress up fully like a clown. Go on Lolcow. A lot of people would enjoy it. Let him cook. This isn't even an apology. He apologized for saying you're a loser beyond redemption. But then by saying that's what he thinks in this very apology. He has once again said publicly you're a loser beyond redemption. He's a catty, passive-aggressive worm. A worm.
DSP's, not only his reading comprehension skills, but his ability to read aloud is... I'm going to say embarrassing, but I know a lot of people struggle with this. If so, better yourself, please. But he thinks that he can make up for it by adding some sort of extra emphasis on a word that they didn't type to have any extra emphasis. And he thinks that that's the redeeming quality, right? That's the bit that he's added. He's added extra emphasis on the word worm, so now it stings harder. When all I'm stuck thinking about is how he can barely fucking read. He's legitimately got the reading ability of a third grader at best.
This is great. I should have been doing this all along on the show. This is very entertaining. For the record, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just reading off of Twitter, and I'm highly entertained. I don't know about you guys. This is great. This is great content. You know what?
Yeah, Jad, I can understand anyway. A fucking thing you say either, brother. You've got an accent heavier than anything I've ever heard.
Okay, I should like send him roses
we love you
and
for it.
Like valuable chocolates. And to offer him out on I'll be honest. I mean, Keem has a lot more money than me. All right. I think if anything, I'm the one who should be wined and dined here. One. I mean, that's like, you know, you're on the street and you're walking down the street and a homeless person hands you a sandwich. You'd be like, the hell is this? Here you go, sir. Here's a foot long from, Firehouse Subs. What the shit? You'd be so confused, right?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
By the way,
I was reading
I have
something. He
a
started
couple of
talking
tips to
about
call
food.
out.
Fat ass.
I have a $3 tip here. I wouldn't respond to any of that type of stuff. Rather, consolidate your newfound momentum, as the Kino Casino boost will only last so long. Focus on creating content we're here for rather than spotlighting any more drama. Even if it's vindicating, this is all feels like bait. I'm loving your main content. Let's focus on that. That's an interesting opinion. I appreciate that.
That's an interesting opinion. They're not going to speak to the validity on that statement, not going to actually address what you said. I'm just going to say that that's a very interesting opinion, you guys. Somebody factually stating that this shit is going to go down eventually and you can't grift on this forever. You might want to actually focus on making good content. And he says that that's an interesting fucking opinion. Incredible, dude. Incredible.
And thank you also for the
16-year content creator.
In addition, I received a $5 tip from an anonymous tipper. Would you talk to Keemstar on your own podcast? Well, let's hold on. I haven't responded yet, right? I haven't. Let's continue. Let's keep going. And then, I know what I have my piece to say, but let's get to it, right? I don't know if you heard about this thing. It's called suspense.
Yes. DSP is building suspense.
I'm actually having a good time with these comments. By the way, this isn't the final topic of the show. We're actually going to talk about Doody.
He's a real fucking
this topic.
He's a real
because
fucking
Doody
Guillermo
is
del
the least
Toro
important thing.
over
That's why I
there.
left him for last.
Look at this fucking director.
He's bowing down. I say yes. No, it's bait. I wouldn't trust Keem ever. He's just going to try a new grift on you. Yes, thumbs up. Here's Booker T when he was the
Shout out
king.
Booker
Do
T.
it, king. Yes, sir. Of course, respond, Phil. Don't trust him. It's bait. He's trying to bait you into something you'll regret. Keep up what you're doing. Hell no, Keem is seething. I would. This is massive. It's below the king to entertain such petty trifles. Well, there's nothing to say. Let his silence speak volumes in its own right. Tell him he's welcome to guest on your stream as the court jester. A costume is mandatory. Rafiki. Someone knows my favorite animated movie, The Lion King. Rafiki saying, the king has returned. Thank you, Rafiki.
What a basic bitch-ass answer, by the way, on favorite animated movie, The fucking Lion King. That's a boomer-ass answer. Come up with something better. Watch another animated movie, bitch.
He says in a soy voice.
Sorry, that was toxic. I'm being toxic.
You are someone
I like The Lion King, actually, so...
You're a coward, Phil. When you came face-to-face with Keem, you had no balls and couldn't tell him what you really thought about it. Okay. Yes. No response needed, King. Keemstar has seen the error of his ways and accepts your kingly status. Let him be, for he is no longer a threat to the domain. Absolutely, you should. Yeah, yes, don't trust Keem. Look how Boogie is being treated. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fair point, right? Go off, King. Absolutely. Keem starting to...
I want to remind everybody, want to take the time. This is my own transformative content style. Please remember when we started this pre-stream that we had an infinite amount of things to talk about, that we had to move quickly and we couldn't possibly waste time putting on glasses because that would be far too distracting. We had so many topics to get to. This is what we planned for, I guess. Literally reading Twitter.
Grow on me. No DNI with Keemstar. He ruins everything. Give him your royal pardon. All hail the king. Him doing this is hell freezing over on its own. But it's on you if you forgive him. Yes. You should trust him like you trust the Kino Casino bros. This could benefit you. You just did. No, I didn't. Yes. Just that you gracefully accept his submission. I wouldn't. He said what he wanted. That's cool. Consider it a closed issue. Don't do it. Reciprocate in kind and leave it at that. Benevolence and generosity are as important to a king as the strength and courage to smite one's enemies. Don't make war with neighbors who pursue peace. There you go.
And this is his favorite shit. The people that are responding to him with larger vocabulary words that relate to his kingly nature or whatever, he loves to put on the voice. He loves to do this little character fucking mimicry that he's got going on here. He loves this shit. This is his favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if we did this shit more often. It already happens in the super chats and tips when people do this. He's eating this shit up.
You will regardless. Of course, yeah, no. WoW King, another R2 hater who wants to become your friend. Winter is coming. It's a trap. I wish I had that, Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Yes. Talk about the game. Oh, talk about the game. That means
yes. Talk about the game. The games you're supposed to be playing on stream that you know, for the last like 6 years made exclusively your focus of your content, and you decided to not do any other sort of content. And whatever.
Do it on the next
it's fine.
live podcast.
I lost it, but you know what I'm saying.
Accept your apology and move on, brother. The comeback's real. We're almost done. Let's fucking go. The King and Keem reconciliation. Say what you want about Keem, but that seemed genuine in my opinion. Either way, another dub for the King. Why not see this as an opportunity to guest on his podcast? Like Keemstar of David. Is this a meme?
Thank you, King Chad.
I didn't even hear this one before. Keemstar of David. That is so weird to me. Beg a little more before we even get a response from you, King.
We love
Keem the time
Keemstar
day,
of David.
If I'm being honest. I wouldn't get involved with Lol Call if I were you. It's a nice apology, though. Nah, it's clickbait. Fuck him. I think you should. No, he sees your rise. He's going to try and buy you now. He wants to buy me. You kind of already did. No, I didn't. This is, that's bait. It's the that's bait meme. Bait. Be careful. Depends on if you
I like that he knew the meme before clicking on it. Very cool and robust.
He was wrong. Real men do that. You should bury the hatchet. I mean, we're all human. If he admits his mistake, it's best to take it in stride and with good intentions. Keemstar always has an ulterior motive. Behind everything he does, don't trust the state.
Obviously, he's a multi-million-dollar content creator, brother, who specializes in drama. Of course he's trying to snake. He must have listened to the 48 Laws of Power or whatever. Big ups Jay Wuso for the $5. If this was audio only, this segment would be pure insanity. But what do I know? That clown makeup has been tattooed on. Exactly, dude. He just has no fucking, like, he doesn't care about people that could be watching this audio style, and that's why he leaves. He's got all the dead air. He's got, like, visual-only segments that you would have no idea what he's talking about because he doesn't bother explaining them. He just... And we're, actively reading every fucking reply on Twitter. And all of them are contradictory statements that don't make any sense. He's not saying the names of these people that are saying these things. So, like you said, if this was audio only, which is how a podcast, I would imagine, would usually be watched, or listened to, rather, it would just sound like he's saying a bunch of contradictory statements that don't actually line up at all for about 20 minutes. Mark99 with the 5. Wow, DSP couldn't even mock Keem himself. Pretty much everyone now has mocked Keem. Anyway, how does DSP not have any jokes? These are crowdsourced jokes, just like everything in his fucking stream. He can't come up with his own comebacks or zingers. Yeah, this is called suspense, stupid. But you just gotta let him cook, obviously. Thank you for the 5. There will not be a good payoff, I promise.
Time to collab. Bill, I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. Remember, the history and the type of guy that he is. If he's being honest, great, but time will tell. Things are going well with your channels right now, and long may that continue. F this guy if he doesn't deserve a minute of your time. All right, so reading every response that I could publicly see, because a lot of people I muted because they're assholes.
Remember when he said that he wasn't going to read every response? The only caveats were people that he already blocked because he's a soft beta bitch. Ack.
I would say, judging by that, I'd say that's like a maybe 60-40. Like 60% of people are absolutely no, right? Some people are like, well, only do anything with him or address him if you're going to like felt him. Like make him come on your show, but then have him dress as a court jester. Kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. Having people dress up is kind of odd. Okay? Or some people are like, yes, completely believe this guy. Completely, forgive him and he's fine. It looks genuine. All right? So, based on all that feedback, all right, I don't think we're gonna respond to it at all. I think we're just gonna move on to our next topic for the show. Here we go. All right, so Doody is at it again. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna actually say something. I was just, I'm not gonna skip it. All right.
What a good bit, you guys. Are you guys rafflecoptering right now?
Least, right?
Are you guys just rolling all over the floor,
publicly apologize,
holding your stomach?
So I will say
your lungs can't handle it.
Now, first of all, I'm not going to go
such a good comedian, you guys, a real entertainer.
Here's what I see, right?
Best of his time.
He says in this apology, right? I'm sorry for being a hater because I was crapping on you last night, but I noticed in the chat as I was crapping on you that everyone was in my chat saying Phil is king, Phil is king. Everyone was being positive towards you. And I recognized that. And it took me time to think about it, but now I've kind of admit I'm being hypocritical and a hater because I myself make content that's supposed to be redemption arc content for Boogie and Wings. And for me to then say that what is happening to you is bullshit and you're still going to be a loser and on level 1 is very hypocritical because it's going against what I'm doing, right? So for that, he apologized, right?
Completely, I think valid thing if that's how Keemstar legitimately feels about the situation. I don't think that that's the right approach to take. I don't particularly think that he does redemption arcs over on LolCow Live. I mean, if anything, Boogie looks significantly worse now than he did, 10 months ago or however long ago the show started. But if he thinks that he specializes in redemption arcs for them, that's fine if he really feels that way. Incredibly dented, but whatever.
But when he apologized, you got to listen to the context. Number one, he basically said in his apology, he does still think I'm a loser. Like, did you hear that? He basically said in his apology, well, I do still think you're going to fail.
Yes.
But just because I think you're still going to fail doesn't mean that I should be a hater, right? So
no, he said that he shouldn't wish for that to happen. He's going to continue to hate. I don't think that he ever, if I'm wrong, please let me know if he did explicitly say that he's not going to be a hater, but he shouldn't be actively hating on this one aspect. He shouldn't be preying on your downfall.
he's apologizing for basically crapping on me publicly on his stream, but he literally just kind of pocket sneaked this there and said, well, I still am going to hate you and think you're a jerk and you're always going to fail anyway, right? So has his opinion actually changed towards me? No, absolutely not. It's just he's apologizing for publicly attacking me in that way.
Did he say pocket sneak this? I loved pocket sneak this because it just goes to show that DSP has apparently forgotten how the word pocket works. He's forgotten how pocket watching works and has combined the two with sneak dissing somehow. I'm not quite sure how he's done such a thing. It just goes to show that he has no actual understanding of the English language and is winging it every single day, as if you needed more examples of that. But I love pocket sneak dissing. An incredible combination.
It is still an apology, though. And that's something different. That's something big, no? To actually get an apology out of Keemstar. I mean, how many people have actually gotten an apology like that out of Keemstar? Probably not many. Probably he has over the years, I'm sure. But a guy like him, so egotistical and everything, to actually, like, apologize like that, right, is something different. You know, it's kind of weird. It's weird to hear that. For me to even be talking about that, you know, this morning, okay? Anyway, continuing on, right? So him apologizing for crapping on me on his stream. All right, fair enough. And listen, here's the thing. He has the right
Listen
to
up.
have any opinion on me he wants.
Look here.
Okay?
Look,
He does.
listen.
I can't change someone's opinion. That's on someone else to change their opinion. Many of you had really bad negative opinions about me for how many years, right? And now all of a sudden, many of you have come by and genuinely started checking out my content. You realize that you like it, and now you're enjoying the ride, right?
Bro, the delusion. To think that people hate on you for years, and all of a sudden, they've just decided that they do actually like your content, despite watching clip channels for years and hating on you. That when they actually watch the content, where the only things that are actually added that's separated from clip channels is schedule segments and dead air. That this is what has tipped them over the edge. They've completely changed sides now, because they got to experience the dead air. To think that actually happened, that people have actually flipped teams like that, is crazy. Completely delusional. It just goes to show you how out of touch with other people and reality he actually is. To think that it works this way.
That's awesome. You know, maybe in time, that could be something that would happen with Keem, right? Maybe what it is he thinks that I'm just going to, within, you know, a month, I'm just going to flub it all, and I'll be right back to where I started. And you know what? I kind of feel like that, too. I've already told you guys here on this very podcast that I feel like success is fleeting, that I've been to this level already. I've been above the level I'm at right now.
What in the
I used
goddamn?
to be one of the most prominent gaming YouTubers. I used to get
Humble
10
brag? Question
million
mark?
views
Not very
a month
humble.
on YouTube, and that's not an exaggeration. That's what this channel was bringing in at its height of popularity. I was at the top of the search algorithm. Everyone cared about my opinion on games and other topics. I was big shit.
This is when the search, I just want to point out, this is when the search algorithm very heavily leaned towards people who were uploading mass content, and DSP was uploading 30 to 60 videos a fucking day. Like, you want to talk about a guy who gamed the system and actually didn't deserve any of the views that he was receiving? He is the poster boy of exactly that. I don't understand why he thinks this is some sort of bragging point. Like, I get it, he was, you know, top of the game back in the day, but when you look into it at all and actually understand any sort of information about the time, he very heavily benefited from gaming the system to the nth degree, and nobody actually cared for the content the way that he describes it. Crooked Hound with the 5, loving the new background screen. It's like viewing what's actually going through his mind in real time, minus the Jin and Hogan's, of course. I'm glad that somebody likes the background screen. He only spent $120 some on it. You're the first person to acknowledge that you like it. So that purchase was for you. I hope you like what the guy did for you, Crooked Hound. Thank you for the 5. I really appreciate it.
Today I'm this little rinky-dink dude, right? A little tiny guy. I'm just lucky to still have pertinence and have a following and a core audience that supported me all along. That's why I'm still here. But the fact that, you know, this guy for so long has had this negative opinion on me, and now at very least realizes, well, maybe I just shouldn't be publicly talking about that opinion because it is bad with his redemption going on right now. I'm doing redemption art content, so it doesn't really make sense. That's at least something, right? That's an acknowledgement. It's a positive acknowledgement in one way. All right. And at the same time, perhaps there will be over time a feeling of that, you know, change towards me. I don't think
see
that
you
for certain people, change doesn't come instantly. Right?
Have fun
Many of
wherever
you
you're
probably never
going.
even heard of me. And then when the Kino Casino stuff started, and then I started working with those guys, then all of a sudden, oh, you're exposed to me. Now you're interested, right? Now you like it. Keem has known about me for a very long time. He's seen the rise and fall, and he's seen all this shit. And, you know, for him, maybe it's much harder to believe that someone like me could not fail. All right. I can kind of get that. All right.
He can kind of get that. DSP, that is actually the only like concrete answer that you can come to when it comes to what DSP could potentially do. The guy has been failing for the past 10 years on a channel that's getting less and less views by year over year, right? The support is down, well, aside from this arc, I suppose, year over year. It's actually a downward trend forever until recent. Yes, it's not entirely absurd to think that you're going to continue to fuck everything up and lose your golden goose. That is actually the only real legitimate answer that you can come up with if you know anything. DSP doesn't understand the lolcow gene? Apparently not. Well, he thinks that he's not. He actively thinks that he's not a lolcow, which is just, it's a crazy thought to even think if you know the guy. But that's the self-pignosis. That's the delusion that he has to give himself in order to continue to exist the way that he does. Because any rational person, any person who actually understands reality and their stance in it, probably would have fucking jumped in Minecraft if they really realized what they were, if they were the guy, right? So DSP had to pignatize himself. It was a means to survival. It's like those beaten and abused kids who like they're like survival instincts. That's DSP right now, but he's done it entirely to himself. It's very robust and meaningful. Speaking of robust and meaningful, movie sign with the 5. So I just noticed with the damn screen in his background, Phil literally has a chip on the shoulder. Get bent Dave. That's actually a really good point. I like that. I like that. Thank you for the 5, brother.
You know, I mean, but it is a sneak diss at the same time, the way he's doing this, you know? And by the way, we should say this too. The one reason why he's apologizing is because of the chat. You understand that? Like, he was streaming this documentary about Rich that was very, you know, anti-Rich. He was slamming Rich and everything. And the segment came up about me, and he says, oh, he's a loser, whatever. And the chat's like, no, he's king. Don't you understand? People like him now. We're watching his content. All that stuff is bullshit. We don't care about it. We like Phil now. And it's not right that you're slandering him like this on your stream. It's just old, tired shit. Cut it out. Phil's king. And then when he saw that, he realized, oh, so I guess the shtick won't work anymore, right? Like, the shtick literally will not work. I can't just sit here and crap on Phil anymore because public opinion has changed. And now
yes, it doesn't work
too, because if I keep the same old, tired, hate on Phil shtick going, people are going to say that I'm outdated, I'm tired, I'm not with the times, right? And that's how Keem is. He wants to stay in line.
Imagine thinking that DSP fans thinking that you're outdated is something to worry about. Like, even if, let's say that the LARPers, that all of the casino fans are genuinely fans of DSP, right? That they actually like him and his content. Imagine thinking that the 400 people that watch DSP on a daily basis are the people that you have to concern yourself about and their opinions. Bro, who gives a fuck what a dent thinks of you? You want to talk about people whose opinions are immediately invalidated? I'm talking about people with anime profile pictures. Yes, I'm adding you. And people who enjoy DSP content unironically. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. It really is that simple. And I know I added a bunch of people that I know personally.
What in the goddamn?
Fuck yourself, I guess. Get dunked on.
And with what's
You're
popular.
seething. You're coping.
And so he's now that was probably the first time he even knew that I was going through any kind of a redemption arc. All right. And so now he's exposed to it. Oh, okay. Well, now I'll change. All right. So is it a full-fledged outright, oh my God, let's break bread and forgive each other kind of an apology? No, it is not. And not in any way, shape, or form. He's literally just saying, listen, I'm sorry that I insulted you publicly on my stream last night. That's it. All right? I mean, let's be honest here. Okay? This is not our first interaction, right? So, you know, I got a few things to say, all right, before I even give a final statement on it. But I got a couple questions for Keem, all right? So, Keem, I got a question for you, all right?
Okay, we've got questions for Keem. This is how we wanted to start. We wanted to start by asking questions. I thought this was going to be, you know, we had the build up, right? We had all sorts of anticipation. We read 100 fucking replies nobody gave a shit about. You thought we were going to come in with the heat. We were going to felt Keemstar. He was going to seethe and cope for all of eternity. He would never recover, and that his career was going to be done when DSP was over with him, right? We're fucking starting with questions. Very cool, very cool. That really puts your foot down on him.
You remember when you were trying to get me to be part of your show? And instead of actually approaching me like a respectable person or a human or a professional, you yelled at me on your Twitter account, much like you just made this proclamation on your Twitter account, that I needed to contact you right away because there was an offer of $50,000 that was going to expire, right? You're basically making demands. You remember that? And you remember how I was willing to have a discussion, but you basically couldn't contact me like a normal human with respect or dignity, like a business person. Instead, you expected me to drop everything in my life and work to contact you. You remember that, right? Okay.
I would imagine that Keemstar does remember this because he's not a gin-addled fucking maniac like DSP is. I genuinely wonder if DSP is asking a legitimate question because he wouldn't be able to remember, so he would think that Keemstar does it, but I would imagine that Keemstar does. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to people in that format on Twitter when you're a public content creator. Like, that's literally building hype. It's letting people in immediately. It's gauging the whether or not people are interested. It's all part of the fucking shtick. And DSP apparently didn't understand any of that and has completely missed the point. I'm not surprised because DSP has the business acumen of a fucking toddler playing pretend kitchen. But you know, he's still on his high horse to flex on Keemstar, obviously.
Now, you remember that after that happened, right, that then you continuously started to harass me systematically for about a year, saying negative things about me on your timeline. I mean, just a couple things here. I mean, you remember when you said that you were going to contact my friends and family to try to get dirt on me, and you were going to put all that out publicly. Remember that you were going to have a special edition of your show? You remember when you said that you were going to personally finance a Netflix documentary about me? Anyone remember that one? Yeah, he said he was going to
that would have been awesome.
Finance and produce a Netflix documentary on me and put it on Netflix, a slanderous documentary, talking all kinds of shit about me, right?
That would have been the most based Keemstar has ever been if he legitimately funded a full fucking Netflix docuseries about DSP. That would have been chef's kiss, buddy. I mean, we don't live in that world. We don't live in that universe. But boy, howdy, would that have been something.
This is not fake, made-up stuff. This is stuff he's all done publicly on his timeline. The same timeline where he's just posted this. He's done all of this. You remember? Do you remember last year I was on this show? It was called Side Scrollers. And when I was on the show, because the show was so popular at the time, because it was a rare interview with me, that you showed up and tried to make it about you. You remember when you decided to promote a stupid waste of time boxing match between Boogie and Wings during my interview with Side Scrollers? Do you remember that? I think I remember that happening. Okay?
I don't recall those being at the same time. Is that factually accurate? Is that factually based? Those were at the same time? Because I don't particularly recall. That being said, I, of course, shout out. I don't think that boxing match was entirely irrelevant because it very much did catapult not Keemstar, but Boogie and Wings back into the public eye. It put their names in people's mouths that really had no business talking about them. And it was the start of the, if you want to call it a Wings redemption arc, you can, or you can't. I don't particularly care. But, you know, it kind of led it into LolCal Live and continued to keep them relevant and make them money. So you can call it irrelevant all you'd like, but you know, it definitely did something, and it worked in a way that I don't think DSP could have put together. Oh, he was trying to call Keem out for exploiting them. Okay, but he mentioned it during the interview. That's what it was. Okay, I misunderstood what DSP was saying. Imagine that. The guy who can't fucking communicate worth a shit. I misunderstood him. Crazy, I know.
I do. I think I kind of recall some of this happening. Okay, continue. Let's continue. Do you remember? Not even a month ago.
Do you remember?
When on your Lol Cow podcast Twitter account, you posted up saying that you were considering legal action against me because I had an opinion about your show, stating that I felt that it was scripted. And you said that me saying that on my show, without prefacing it, saying that it was my opinion, means that I was stating it as a fact, and that means that it's defamation or slander. I mean, I could actually analyze that for about an hour.
I don't think you could. I don't think you can analyze shit, brother. Literally
but I'm not
nothing.
Going to because it's not worth my time, okay? But you remember...
Guys, it's not worth my time, but reading fucking Twitter replies is definitely worth yours. Sound good? Sounded good to DSP. This fucking guy, dude.
Yeah, right? You remember when you did that, right? And that was less than a month ago. By the way, did anyone notice that in the last month that his Lolcow podcast is literally all scripted content? He's got Boogie and Wings grocery shopping. He's got Boogie picking up trash on the side of the road, drinking bottles of piss. He's got Boogie and Wings going to the Democratic National Convention dressed like Trump supporters, correct? I mean, you remember this, right? This is all happening. This is not me in like a fever dream. This is actually happening right now. That's the content he's putting out on his show. It's literally a scripted show. And that's what I said it was, and he threatened legal action. And then he decided to continue to put out scripted content, correct?
That's not scripted content. Like, I hate to inform anybody who's following what DSP is saying here and actually agreeing with him. Sorry, you're dented. That's not fucking scripted. If you put people into a pre-planned situation and the reactions are genuine, it's not scripted. Them going shopping might be a scripted event, but the actions that are taken during it, the reactions that they get from other people, the things they say, the things they bite, none of that is scripted. So, I mean, you might want to try and, you know, chop it up however you want to fit your narrative. But I think that the majority of people are going to understand that the idea to do the content is it should be scripted, right? You should have an itinerary for what you're going to talk about on your show. You should know what you're going to be, you know, discussing or who you're going to be bringing on. That is supposed to be scripted. It's the things that are said. It's the opinions that you have that aren't scripted. That's the difference. I don't know how he doesn't get that. I guess it's because he shows up to his fucking show every single day and has no idea what he's going to talk about. He has no idea what fucking videos he's going to watch or what bullshit Twitter articles he's going to read. I guess if that's your expectation for content, it's no wonder he doesn't like anybody else's. It's because he expects dog shit from everybody else. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you to Redbird with the 2. The best apologies are made with a ukulele. This is true. If I've learned anything from that lady that I can't recall the name of, it's that all of your apologies should be accompanied by a musical number and against your lawyer's wishes, obviously. And VLX with the 5. Phil actually going through a villain arc like Titan from Megamind, except there's no glow up and most of it is him imagining things. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That reminds me, I need to go watch Megamind again. It's been a few years, and that movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, Megamind is incredibly cool. Thank you for the 5, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
This is all public and happening, right? But by the way, this is my opinion, just for the record. This is my opinion. This is not fact. It's my opinion. Okay? So here's the thing, all right? Perhaps
Megamind.
if we didn't have this long and storied history of you punching down on me, right? Like, I don't have enough shit to put up with my detractors who are insane clowns who are trying to ruin my life and my business and my family, right? Like, that's not hard enough on me. I need to have Keemstar also punching down into the pile on me, right? You know, maybe we didn't have that history. I would have watched this apology and I would have been like, you know what? I believe it. I totally believe it. I do. All right? But I'm going to be honest. We do have a history. And you have a history of basically being what's called a fair weather friend. What that means is, hey, when things are going good, now you want to ride that wave, right? You want to be associated with someone when they're popular, when people are liking them, when it benefits you. And then the moment that public opinion tips or dips, you drop them like a hot rock, right? That's it. You ride the trends. And listen, to some extent, maybe that should be well respected. Because you know what?
He's a
You
businessman.
could definitely get over in life doing that. All right?
I don't think that Keemstar is a fair weather friend, especially not when it comes to DSP. I don't know about his personal relationships or whatever, but to me, he comes off as a content creator business style first and foremost, and honestly, nothing else. Keemstar contacts you because there's content to be made. He sees money. There's nothing else behind those eyes. And for that, like, if you understand that about Keemstar, I personally don't have any issue with him. I think a lot of the things that he says is stupid. A lot of the things that he decides to do are kind of dumb. But if that's his business, if that's where he thinks that he can make the money, I guess go for it, boss. I'm not gonna be here to stop you. But exactly, see, two sides of the same coin. That's DSP. Where there's money to be made, he's gonna do it unless it requires a little bit of effort, in which case he's not. But it's the same shit. They value the same shit, and it's money.
Personally, I think it's abhorrent. I think that that's a very low moral standard, being honest here. But hey, you basically have made a living doing it for how long, and you're continuing to do it. Here, that's all this is. Your chat told you, oh, Phil's doing good now. He is king. You really shouldn't do the old, shtick anymore. It doesn't work. And you immediately decided to change your tune and do this apology to me. Okay? But we know who you are. You're not a newcomer to the game. You've been in the game for so long. You have this track record. We know your personality. We know your intentions. All right? This is not some new shocking thing. Now, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've gotten this entire thing wrong. Maybe I've just gotten so many misconceptions about Keemstar from things I've heard. Then again, I do have this track record of nasty things he's done to me. So that's the experience I'm coming from. But maybe I'm wrong. All right? And so, in that spirit, okay?
Go ahead.
What I'd like to do...
Get to the fucking point. Real quick, before he gets to the point, I know I was rushing him, but I'm going to go ahead and fucking pause it here. I want to remind everybody that this is DSP's reply, and he's just listed off a laundry list, again, something that he doesn't know how to do, laundry, a laundry list of things that Keem has done to him, to dunk on him, to felt on him, to whatever you want to say, right? To just shit all over DSP. This is the DSP reply. Remember when you shit on me all of the time? That's it. That's all he really had to say so far. I don't know why he would have got on screen and done that, but he did, which is awesome.
Is I would like to say, I would make an offer that I will appear on his Lal Cow podcast for a very small contribution to the King's coffers of $50,000. If he would like to pay me $50,000 to appear on his show for a 2-hour segment, I will appear on his show for 2 hours for $50,000. And no, this is not a joke. 50 grand, and I will appear on his show. Now I'm actually making a real public offer that's actually, not bullshit. All right? 50 grand. And I will come on your show for 2 hours and we will talk about whatever. I mean, don't expect me to be doing any kind of crazy shit. But since you're so desperate to have the king on your show, I mean, literally, you've talked about me like every fucking show, pretty much.
And that's not even true. Like, this just goes to show you that DSP doesn't actually know anything about the people that he talks shit about. He doesn't know anything about the drama that he's getting himself involved in. He doesn't actually watch LolCal Live, but he's very confident in saying that they talk about him every fucking stream. And that's just not the case. Because who the fuck is talking about DSP when Boogie's faking cancer and drinking piss? Like, let's be honest here. Who the fuck gives a shit about DSP when Boogie's drinking piss?
Episodes dedicated to me. It only seems fair that the king should be collecting his tithes and taxes. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, 50 grand, and I'll go on the Lal Cow show for 2 hours, one live show, and we'll do whatever.
$25,000 an hour is what DSP thinks that he's worth to Keemstar. I couldn't imagine being so delusional. That's insane. Just crazy. And I seen you guys, pointing it out in chat. Do I remember when LTG did this to DSP and he thought it was patently absurd and that he was overestimating his worth to DSP and that DSP was just going to continue to talk shit about him or whatever because that was his right to do so when he wasn't going to give LTG anything? That's pretty much exactly where he's put Keemstar. Keemstar can continue to shit all over DSP, point out every flaw in his logic, make infinite content about him, and continue to pay him nothing because DSP's very clearly not worth $25,000 an hour. Obviously. In fact, it's probably better content to not have him there and instead do it in this fashion because the drama is amped up. Because two people screaming at each other in the same call is far less entertaining than two people separately talking shit about each other in different, pieces of content where there can't actually be any communication. It's pretty standard drama. I don't know.
Fair enough. Or I'll make a counter offer for you because I'll be honest. I've seen the show recently. It's not very good. It's pretty bad. All right, the show is pretty much on its last legs at this point, even though you do have a large group of really mentally stunted people who watch it and think that it's like quality content. It's really bad, and you can tell that this show is definitely not going to exist forever. This is his latest venture of crap that's not going to work, Because
they're actively being paid for every show they do.
Where it was supposed to be a big thing that him and Boogie and Wings were going to keep boxing other people, and it never happened. It fell apart. It's junk. No one likes it. And his show right now is falling apart. Oh, I have a host. Oh, the host is off the show. They're on the show. I'm paying the host. I'm not paying the host. Now I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Oh, we got no content. Oh, shit. Let's make Boogie pick up trash and drink piss. And it can only last so far, especially for a guy like Keemstar who's supposed to be retired, yet still seems to appear in every piece of content that he's involved in. So I'm going to make a counter offer because I'll be honest. I don't think Keemstar can afford $50,000 for me to be on his show. I don't think that would happen. I think actually, And by the way, I'll say this too, no counter offers. It's either you accept the offers or nothing.
There's no counter offer, but he's actively about to give you a counter offer. Also, the fucking audacity to criticize somebody for being in their own content is crazy to me. Imagine being so involved in your own content, the slop that you put on the internet, that you actually appear in it and you actually have some sort of say in what goes on. Who would have fucking thought that when you put something out on the internet, you might want to actually involve yourself in some sort of way? Also, DSP saying, oh, this can only run its course for so long. Then that's the end of the fucking business, stupid. If the money doesn't come in eventually, then the business is over and Keemstar continues to move on. That's how this has always worked. I don't understand how he's not getting this. I don't understand. And the nonsense of, oh, the hosts are off, then they're on, I'm not paying him, that's all part of the content. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's good or not, doesn't fucking matter. People are tuning in, they're keeping up with the drama, and they're still being fucking paid. Maybe not Tommy. Tommy did get paid, but that's besides the point. They're still being paid. It's still working. And the second that it doesn't, all of them can immediately abandon ship and move on to something else, whether that's successful or not. It's not complicated. Again, the business acumen of a toddler. And I seen people say it when I said it earlier, that even toddlers playing pretend kitchen have better customer service than DSP. And that is an incredibly accurate, factually based statement. You're right.
Counter offer. We're not going to negotiate. This is, now you're in the king's court. You understand? I hold the cards now. So I control the situation, not you. I have all the power here, not you. So it's either 50 grand or nothing. 50 grand or I'm not going to be on your show. But I do have another offer for you.
No counter offers, but here's my counter offer to my own offer.
You appear here on my Level 1 podcast for free. You don't have to pay to be on my show. You can be a guest on my show. And we'll have a conversation live. What do you think about that?
Now, I don't think that I have to inform any of you that if the cost is $50,000 for 2 hours of DSP or $0 and you could probably still get 2 hours out of DSP, this is kind of the worst trade deal in history because one of them is so obviously better that the first one didn't even make sense to say. If you're going to immediately counter your own offer with an obviously better one. Guys, I'll sell you this. I'll sell you this car for $100,000, or you could drive me to my doctor's appointment tomorrow and you can have it for free. Well, why the fuck wouldn't I just take the second one, stupid? Are you... Never mind. I was going to do a line, but I don't think I'm even allowed to say that.
Now, here's the thing. in order to actually have that happen, Keemstar would actually have to find a way to lower himself to my level on level 1. Because usually what he does is he'll go on his Twitter and he'll scream and be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to be following you on Twitter. I'm not going to, if you actually literally go on Twitter right now and say, I accept, I don't give a fuck. You actually have to contact me like a man, like a business transaction, which is what this should be. Not you screaming like a child on Twitter and acting like an immature child. I want you to actually like contact me via a method that makes sense. Mail, it exists. I have email, right? Twitter, I do have a Twitter account. You're blocked on there. All right. So what I will do now, just to show good faith, the wrong mouse. To show good faith, I'll go and I'll unblock Keemstar on Twitter. So if he actually wants to send me a DM about appearing on this show, all right, we can talk about it. And by the way, I'm just going to tell everyone, I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to happen.
Well, obviously you can, because I really don't know why Keemstar would even bother, to be honest with you. But that's besides the point. I do find it very, very interesting that when DSP had previous, communications with Keemstar, the issue was he wouldn't call my phone during the times I specified. He wouldn't email me and communicate with me in the way that I preferred. But now that DSP is laying down this challenge, something that he does actually want to happen because he's leaning into this drama grift that he's currently found himself embroiled in, now he has decided to unblock Keemstar and has accepted that Twitter DMs are actually an effective way of communication with other people who make content. Isn't that so strange? That now that DSP actually wants something to happen, he's willing to make these caveats. The things, these caveats being the very essence of the issue that he took with Keemstar in the first place. Very, very strange how our priorities have completely 180'd very recently, isn't it? Very particular. Demi Fiend with the 5. How long will this Kino hype last? You think not that much longer, right? Then what will happen? I hope it's not that much longer, because honestly, this is one of the most grating DSP arcs. This is, I keep hearing it compared to the Vest streak in the fact that DSP's ego is massive,
in the goddamn?
and that really the only thing you can follow him for at this point is to hope to see the fall before getting incredibly bored and tired of this nonsense.
In the goddamn?
So hopefully soon. I hope the Josh Moon thing is the end of it. In all honesty, on Monday, I hope Sir Moon felts him, and that's the end of that, and we can all move on to greener pastures. Greener for everybody involved other than DSP, who will obviously be in the red. It's the red that's the negative one. Paul Turner with the 5. The first offer wasn't genuine. The real offer was getting Keem on his stream. He knows he's not getting the 50K, but wants to replicate the KC bump. I don't know if that's going to turn out in his favor or the same way, though, Paul. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't foresee Keemstar being the same to the KC bump, because I don't think that Keemstar dents are going to shell out and wail out the way that the casino ones did. I honestly don't even know if Keemstar coming on the show would rival the numbers of other content that DSP has done with Casino, or when he's going to do his own documentary. I'm going to ask who genuinely cares about Keemstar. I know people do, but people who follow DSP care about Keemstar is the real question. I guess maybe I'm dented to think not, but I don't know. Well, you can only wait and see.
This is, could have just, you know this guy and his behavior. You know I don't like him. So, very well, this could just fall apart immediately and never happen, and that's okay if it does, all right? I'm not expecting anything out of this, all right? But, you want me on your show, you got to pay the king's taxes. It's just that simple.
The tax is $50,000.
I'll be on your show for 2 hours, or we could talk about you appearing on my show.
DSP sounding like the federal government taking $50,000 in taxes, boss. Come on.
You actually want to have a real conversation with me.
That's crazy.
Don't post on Twitter about this. I don't care. If you do, I'm going to ignore you. Don't make any counter offers. I'm going to ignore them. It's my way or the highway, bro. So let's hear what you have to say about it. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Is that the end of that segment?
All right, we have one more topic for today.
Okay, that's the end of that topic. So we're gonna go to, I was DM'd this. This is the Keemstar Twitter post. Dear DSP. Everything's all messed up because I've not one to look at Twitter nonsense. on stream typically. Here you go. You have a Twitter. I hate it here, and it sucks. So,
Dear Dark Side Phil, DSP, I owe you an apology.
no, wait, this is the same one. No.
You know,
This is not the right thing. Ack. Somebody said that he responded live last night as well. And is that actually what I'm looking for? I have a DSP has made me an offer members only, but there's no timestamp on it, and I'm not watching an hour and 40's worth of content. So you're out of your mind. I can pull that up if somebody has a timestamp. If Jamie could give me one, that'd be very robust and meaningful to me. That it's like 40 minutes in. I'll go to 40 minutes. See, okay, he is watching the guy. I can see it.
Is what it is, buddy.
Shtick literally will not work. I can't just sit here and crap on Phil
He
anymore.
DMs DSP at the end.
It has changed. And now I have to change too, because if I keep the same
This is a Street Fighter gameplay?
tired, hate on Phil shtick going, people are going to say that I'm outdated, I'm tired.
Okay, all right, here we go. We're going to DM Phil. We're just going to watch the DM. Yeah, why would he watch DSP play Street Fighter? Who gives a fuck? I didn't even watch DSP play Street Fighter last night.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bode probably did. He's the guy.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Phil. I've recently seen your YouTube vid offering me the amazing opportunity of coming onto Locale Live for a mere $50,000 appearance fee. Unfortunately, I will have to decline this offer because, as you have hinted on your video, I am poor and can't afford that. However, the counter offer that you have put forth was very...
I forgot to even point that out. DSP was saying that Keemstar literally could not afford the 50K appearance fee for him when Keem's out here actually buying Cybertrucks. I don't know what Keemstar's finances actually look like, but I would imagine that the guy shelling out $100,000+ for a fucking Cybertruck is more than capable of paying $50,000 to DSP if he really wanted to. It seems pretty straightforward, but I forgot to point that out. Oh,
interesting to me. The way I understood it was, if I was able to contact you in a professional matter, you would grant me the ultimate privilege of coming to the King's Court and having a convo with your majesty. Please provide me with time and place when this can happen. From Daniel Keem, aka Keemstar of Drama Alert, Happy Punch, and Locale Live.
There you go. There's the response. Nothing more than that. Keem's looking a little burnt. Got too much sun. I guess New York got sun. Very cool. Very cool. So I guess Keemstar is going to be appearing on the King's Court. I don't know why we're changing the name of the Level 1 podcast to the King's Court as of late, but I think that if he's going to do it, he might as well just, commit to it and actually change the fucking name instead of calling everything 100 different things so everyone is confused. Let me hide this again. There we go.
Today, I saved the worst for last, that's for sure. By the way, guys,
Can't wait for that to happen.
over 700 viewers, 290 likes. Let's get some likes going.
Keem was
Let's get
drunk
some
as hell, by
likes
the
going
way.
right
I
now
believe
on the
that.
stream if you're enjoying it. All right, and please.
Doesn't he
let's get some score
literally
going. Like I said, I wanna
stream
hit at least
from
my
his... He, like, streams from his bar half the time, doesn't he? Like, his bar is behind that faux wood panel that's behind him, I believe.
2 tips goal by the end of the stream. We haven't had a tip in like an hour. Let's get a tip going. Let's hit that $100. All right. Shout out to Some Kind of Taco, who did a super chat and said, so many YouTubers have come and gone, yet the king, despite having so many people against him for over a decade, has remained. May he stay blessed. All right. And thank you also, Don McLean, for another super chat. Keem looking like Kevin Nash at the summer of '92 right now. There
I
you
don't
go.
even know what
Thank
that
you, Don.
means.
Down on the leaderboard again. And then we got our final
Must be
topic
some
today,
boomer shit.
which is going to be pretty interesting because, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new segment to introduce to the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce a segment to the show. And the name of this segment is going to be called Playing with Doody. You know, some people like to. Some people, they choose to play with Doody. They poke it, they feel it up, they spend time with it, they talk to it. Some people interact with Doody. I don't know if you're aware of this. I mean, I have evidence of it right here. There's a bunch of people who like to play with Doody. All right? So today we'll play with Doody.
Is this scat joke working for you guys yet? He's only said it about 100 times or so now. Are you laughing yet? I'm personally not, but let me know if you are. Because it's for somebody and I'm trying to single that person out. If it's you, oust yourself now.
All right? You wonder why am I bringing this up? Because my detractors are so dumb. All right? They actually don't understand that, like, they literally dance like puppets on strings. Whenever I say or do something,
It's for
they
Jenna.
can't resist reacting to it. You understand? They can't. They literally can't resist taking the bait. Almost every single time that I've attempted to do something where there's bait to be taken, they take it. And then I just ignore the situation and it all just resolves itself. In this case, like,
So he lays bait so that he can ignore the situation and it resolves itself. I don't think this motherfucker understands how bait works. Like, I would imagine that you would like you would lay bait for an animal, right? To capture them or to kill them for sustenance or whatever. DSP is out there laying down bait to do nothing. I mean, you're just feeding the animals at that point. You're just feeding the trolls. Does he not understand that? Yeah, he's a masturbator. There you go. There you go. I knew it was in there somewhere. That's actually the situation that he's laid down here. He outright acknowledges, I feed the trolls and then I say nothing. Very cool. Very fucking 9D chess he's playing there.
like I said, I'm never going to have to actively go after anyone because in time, what's going to happen is they're all just going to unravel themselves. Do you understand? Like what happened with Review Tech USA? I just sat there and took his abuse for a good 10 years. And now look what's happening to the man. It's called karma, right? So what we have here is a video that Doody released yesterday called Debunking DSP's Lies About... Well, actually, it's not even DSP's lies, which would be proper grammar. It's debunking DSP lies about ad revenue and views. Doody brings receipts.
Doody, I gotta say, I never talked to you, but please stop having typos. You're giving DSP easy things to say, and even though it's irrelevant and doesn't particularly matter, stop letting him think that he's got something. Thank you.
Okay, so to clarify,
Thank you,
Doody
Jordan, with the one
is actually
gifted.
one of
Very
my
cool.
detractors,
Very cool.
Okay, he's one of the more recent ones. I think he's only been doing it for what, a couple of years.
Oh, you're saying maybe he does
but
it
he's
on
been
purpose,
successful at
lyrical
it. He's one of these
thesis.
guys, he
This is the
takes my
invisible bait for
content, he
DSP.
chops it
Okay,
up,
okay.
He edits it for these digestible videos that are basically crapping on me. All right, and he presents it in a way that's very disingenuous. Right? Sometimes he even makes these
Oh, you know what? You're right. That might not be a typo. If you added a comma, it would be debunking DSP, comma, lies about ad revenue and views. Doody brings receipts. Yeah, you know what? That might not actually be a typo. Holy shit. I mean, you still need a comma, but it's not what he said.
arguments of things that I've never even said or attempted to do in my content. He just makes shit up because he wants to have a video for the day. So often he'll have 2-3 videos in a day that he puts out, and it's like maybe one of them has some substance and the other 2 are just so ludicrously bad, but his viewers are so mentally stunted that they think that what he says and does is either true or, you know, like meaningful. I mean, look at this guy. He is so pathetic. He actually tags my own names in his content so that on YouTube, when you search for DSP, you get his shitty video instead of me.
That's the subject of the video, stupid. Does he think that adding the tags of video games that you're playing are also a shitty way to garner people to watch your videos? That's the subject of the fucking video. What do you want him to tag it as? You want him to title it or to tag it hashtag detractor? Like, I genuinely don't know what the expectation is.
Okay? Like, I mean, that's pretty pathetic. He can't even get a view on his own. So he actually has to use my name in the title, in his hashtag. Every piece of content that Doody puts out is DSP. It's not Doody, it's DSP. That's why people are watching it, you understand? Now, in this video, we're not going to watch it. It's 18 minutes long. It's hilarious.
DSP doesn't even tag
I'm not
anything.
waste 18 minutes of my time on this turn.
I wanted to see what he went and tagged.
But I
He
just
doesn't
want to
tag
show
shit,
you,
obviously.
basically, his entire setup is making fun of memes about me. you know, 1651, which is a meme that supposedly I spent 1651 on a mobile game. I have 2 big bills coming up. Please support.
No. It's not a meme that you spent 1651 on a mobile game. It's that you spent multiple 1651s on a fucking mobile game, bud. Like, let's again, one of the phrasings that is very specific as to not actually tell you what the meme actually is, to give you the full context of it. It's just another obfuscation by DSP. Very, very cool and totally sneaky.
The stream. I guess that's supposed to be something I said at one point, which I believe I did. I don't know why Fallout is the border. I mean, he's literally got a picture of my ex.
Yes, based
who
Panda
I've not
Lee.
had any association with. I broke up with her.
We love Panda.
Over 7 years ago.
Cat Simps are punching air right now. You're seething. You're coping.
She has not been a part of my content, nor have I brought her up or mentioned her. He's got a picture of my ex in the bottom left-hand corner of his screen. I would like you to think about that for a moment, okay? In addition,
and Jed, you're right. What is wrong with Leanna being there? If she has nothing to do with the content anymore, they've been broken up for years now, and I like that he said that he broke up with her when it was very clear that she left him. If she has nothing to do with the content anymore, I think everybody should be allowed to put whoever they want up in the content, especially people who are completely unrelated to DSP. Why is this being brought up? Why is this a point of discussion? Great questions all by me. Very cool, very cool. Demi Fiend with the 2. Regarding Phil's ex, do you think Phil is a pedo? I'd have to see the hard numbers. I'm not willing to state that for a fact, obviously. At best, he's a weird power tripping grooming style, because I think that talking to your fans at all in that manner and even getting together with them is questionable at least. It's everything after that is also, undetermined, but still very uncomfortable. So at worst, grooming. Very cool. I'm not going to say that.
What you see right there, this right here, here's my cursor.
Say
this
a lot
right
of
here,
things that could get taken out of context
I guess
sometimes.
it's supposed to be the avatar that he speaks from. Let me just test that.
Your boy Doody back again with another video. That's right.
So there you go.
Hey,
That's
good morning,
the
Kanye.
avatar he's speaking from. Now, if you notice, that avatar seems to have my hairstyle, seems to have my facial hair, right? Like, I guess that's supposed to be a representation of me, a pig in the Fallout Vault Dweller costume, correct? Is that what that's supposed to be? Is that supposed to be representative of me? Now, question.
He's piecing it together, guys.
I'd like you to look at that. Are we looking at that? Now, I'd like you to look at me. Me, 200-pound Darkside Phil.
Look at
right?
no,
Which I have been. I'd like you
come
to look
back.
at me.
Look at DSP. Look at him.
Me, 200 pounds.
Look at how flat the back of that fucking skull is. Look at the shape of this fella. Incredible. Truly a specimen never before seen by mankind, and the type that needs to be studied at Area 51. I mean, the fact that this guy ever got out of Roswell is kind of crazy, and the fact that he's continued to stream since is even crazier, right?
Darkside Phil, right? Which I have been for like 2 years, right? Does that look like me? I mean, if you were to argue that's, Wings or Boogie, and that's the meme, is that all these lolcows are fat or whatever. That's literally not even me. It's just, why would I look like that? I'm not a fat pig.
Why
Even
would
if
I
you say I'm
look
a
like
pig
that?
because of the way I behave on stream, that's one thing. But that's literally not even a joke. Again, these are the detractor memes.
No, that is a joke, though. He was going to say that's not even a joke. It is a joke. We want him to fucking draw a skinny pig? When's the last time you ever seen a skinny pig? Real talk. If you've ever seen an illustration of a fucking pig, when's the last time you've seen one that wasn't rather rotund? It's kind of like one of 3 fucking traits that pigs have. Snout, shitty little tail, they're fat as fuck. Those are the 3 indications it's a shitty little pig. I don't like pigs. I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely don't like the fuck guy, so it's like a double whammy there. Like, you have to fucking make a fat pig.
Is that what they do is they make this collective weird groupthink idea up, and then they all just regurgitate it over and over, and then they believe it. Like, in the minds of my detractors, and this is not a joke, they actually think I'm grossly overweight. They believe that.
I think you're grossly out of shape, and I think that that's the conclusion that most detractors come to. It's not an overweight thing. You are overweight in the sense that you don't have any muscle definition and it's all fat on you, and you shouldn't weigh that for the size that you actually are. But it's not like you're fucking grossly obese by any means. Yes, he's grossly atrophied. He's got a lot of sagging skin and no muscle definition.
They actually think that Darkside Phil is grossly overweight, even though I weigh 200 pounds and I'm just about 6 feet tall. They actually think that, okay? It's insane, right? And by the way, no, the pig is not about begging. The pig is because I snort because I have post-nasal drip. And on bad days, I have to snort to clear my sinuses or else I cough. That's what the pig meme is. Oh, he snorts on stream or whatever, correct? So, that's just a brief analyzation, a momentary glimpse into the content that my detractors make. I haven't even talked about the content of the video yet.
And I see it in chat. You're actually right. DSP is about 40 pounds overweight. DSP claims to be 5'11 or 5'12 or whatever goofy shit that he stated before. And he's like 220 pounds, 212 or something like that. He is technically overweight. He's not supposed to weigh that much. As a 6-foot individual myself, somebody who also doesn't take the best care of my body because I fucking work for a living and I'm lazy. I'm fucking 6 foot 185, brother. You could definitely go and fucking lose some weight. You are overweight, simple as.
Because you're gonna see this guy auto self-felt himself so fucking badly in this video. It's irreparable damage, but we're gonna get to it in a second because I have shout outs to do. So first of all, I received a $10 tip from Rothgar. I'm glad to hear that you and the casino aren't on the outs. Not at all. Couldn't be further from the truth. Looking forward to catching Chain Together tomorrow with the three of you. Me too. I'm very excited for that. I cannot wait for Chain Together tomorrow. I think it's going to be a
I hate reading tips in the middle of a fucking segment.
So thank you for that. That was a $10 tip from Rothgar.
I've said previously that that's actually a half-decent way to incentivize people to tip. You read it in the middle of the segment, they get their immediate gratification in case they're not there at the end to hear it or whatever. Very cool, very robust. I'm sure they appreciate it, but it does really derail the stream. That is 100% certain because he can't just say it and move on. He can't incorporate it well. It's typically off topic because it's all king bullshit nonsense. It's actually a detriment to the stream, and I apologize for ever recommending that this is something that he do. I guess that's partially on me. Big Atlas L.
My streams and everything I do. Here's a $5 tip from some homeless man. Hello, would you mind if I spare some change for you? Wow. It's happened. I mean, I was joking earlier about the footlong, but a homeless man somehow found a way to have an internet connection, get online, and send me a $5 PayPal tip contribution. Thank you so much to the homeless man. I appreciate that. All right, and then, ladies and gentlemen, I have just received an incredibly generous $75 tip.
Oh, wailed
Mr.
out
Gape.
on this one.
Now, for the record, Mr. Gape, I can't use that name on my leaderboard. I'll get in trouble on YouTube. I'm going to say Mr. G. $75 from this person. The closest I have there is 50. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely official.
Bro, look at how long this shit takes.
12 stream
We're in the middle of a segment.
I haven't even booted a game yet. I'm just doing a podcast. I haven't even booted a video game
We
yet.
were shitting on detractors. We were kind of being entertained.
The coffers have been filled. The streak continues at 12. Now, anything else you guys contribute today, greatly appreciated. It would help a ton. Super chats, memberships, tips, thank you in advance. I will shout you.
And he just hit $150. Sorry, I forgot to put this back up. He just hit $150. And he's immediately begging again. Imagine, after being given $150 for being an hour and 30 into your stream, and you continue to beg when you have hours left of stream. Good Lord, man. Talk about not appreciating shit. I did it again.
All of those out, I promise you.
I was in the wrong tab.
And I thank you so much for that. All right. But to hit the goals again is amazing. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Okay. So by the way, he had said basically, down with the detractors, felt them and stuff like that. And I apologize, I deleted the email like an idiot before I read it. But thank you so much, Mr. G, for a whopping $75 tip. Also, Vego Karat did a €5 super chat, no, a £5 super chat, and says, Hail King DSP, you're awesome, dude. Watching you makes my day a lot better. Thank you for that. And then Volsair just did a €10 super chat. So these guys have no content. They're making fan fiction by doing dumb edits, and they pretend that they're true.
Brother.
I mean, it's insane how stuff is taken
out here doing.
Oh, hold on. I'm using the wrong keyboard. It's insane.
He's using the wrong keyboard.
They take stuff out of context or spin it.
Imagine that. Imagine that being a sentence you have to fucking say when you've designed your entire setup around streaming. That you used the wrong keyboard.
Obviously, wasn't intended to mean. And then they'll make entire series of videos and clips about it, and then their audience is so dumb and slow that they just eat it up because they don't care about truth. They just care about drama. They're there literally just to make fun of someone. They don't care if it hurts someone or if it defames someone or their business or their family. All they care about is personal gain, okay? And it's sad because it does hurt myself and my family and my business, and I can't really defend myself against it because I'm not going to waste time talking about it all day. But anyway, the funny part about this video, we're not...
except that we've wasted all day talking about it right fucking now, haven't we? Has this entire pre-stream not been about detractors and people talking that shit? But we don't have time, you guys. I don't want to spend all day doing this. The entire fucking pre-stream has been nothing but that today. Like, maybe he could have said that, last year when he was actually trying to move on positively or whatever shit he was spewing. But now, you're literally not even allowed to say that without it being a very blatant lie that you can debunk by scrolling back about 3 minutes. Eskimo with the 5. Stop by to say DSP is fun to watch on Street Fighter if you know competitive stuff. Like DSP, you pushed a button and we all saw the counter hit on screen. Man, maybe that is the issue. Maybe I don't know anything about Street Fighter, and there's no maybe about that. I definitely don't know anything about Street Fighter, and I don't particularly care to. So, we can chalk it up to another Atlas L if you want. I don't think I'm missing out personally. But
I'm going to watch it because basically what he does in this video.
Thank you for the 5. Nonetheless,
he basically goes into
Eskimo,
his
very
actual,
cool.
like, analytics on YouTube. And he shows this screen, okay? And I wish that he would have zoomed in more. I know it's hard to see. I can't blow it up any more than this on my PC, so I apologize for that. Actually, wait a minute. Yes, I can. Hold on a second here. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm a professional. We can just do this.
I'm a professional. I can just
I'll be able to do it. So,
blow my fucking layout completely asunder.
What he's showing here is his channel analytics. And you might
Not that he
wonder,
has much of a layout, I guess.
Why would Doody be showing his channel analytics? All right. Well, he's showing them because basically in a recent video, I said the following, or I'll paraphrase. I said, my detractors are seething. They're losers because they are angry that I'm successful, that now I have a second wind and everyone is liking my content and coming to check me out, and that I'm popular again. They can't handle that, right? They depend on me basically being a loser to make their content, and so they're very upset. And I even went as far to say, listen, these people are losers. The videos they put out get a few thousand views a day when they put them out, okay?
Which is more views than DSP is getting. I want to make that very clear because he says that as if it's some small time numbers. Oh, they're only getting a few thousand views a day when they put out these videos. And you can go to DSP stream, and at best, you're going to see that his pre-streams are the only pieces of content that he has that hit over 1,000 views typically. And that's only because he does shit like this. He does shit just completely filled with drama during the pre-stream. There's a reason nobody watches the fucking gameplay, and it's because he's bad, he's boring, and it's just not good. So let's not sit here and act as though a few thousand views isn't something that DSP would be bragging about for months on end had it happened to him. I mean, you guys remember when he had a video hit 30,000 views or whatever the one time and he never let it go? When's the last time you heard about a detractor popping off like that because their video hit 30,000 views? You don't, because they're not akin to DSP. It's literally not even worth talking about.
They're not getting hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. The thing is, they put out a bunch of them, so the videos add up in viewership, right? So basically, I said they're not making a ton of views or whatever on this stuff. And in addition to that, it's ad revenue versus other. My revenue is based on both ad revenue, but also I have super chats, I have memberships, I have tips. Those are my goals for the day, and I get the ad revenue on top of it as well. These guys, a lot of them are just basing it on ad revenue. And I kind of said, they're only hating on me for money, for the little that they're making. And, it's going to turn around. Like, basically, it's all going to turn around because now I'm getting my second wind and people like me again. All right. So I said things like this on my stream.
And as you can see, that's held nothing but true, as all of the detractor channels are just abysmally down bad. Nobody is watching the content. Nobody is supporting the content. Nobody's showing up for the streams. They've all switched teams. Everybody loves Phil again, obviously. As we, right now, sit here with almost 900 people laughing at the guy.
What he does is he turns
Detractors are seething.
Special video.
They're felted.
He says,
they'll never
debunk
recover.
DSP's lies about ad revenue and views. He goes on to say that, look at my channel. So I brought in 1.2 million views on my Doody streams channel in July, okay? And that resulted in $5,036.96 in ad revenue for me because I'm a partner on YouTube. So literally him making these awful, factually untrue, unhinged, deplorable videos about me is making this man $5,000 a month.
He's salty?
Okay. Wow. I'm sure many of you were shocked, right? When you see that, you're like, wow, did you really think that it was going to be that profitable, right? It's pretty insane when you think about it, right?
I would imagine that anybody who understands how views correlated into ad revenue on YouTube would be under the assumption that it was about that. If they actually took the time to count the views, you could probably figure it out. But because DSP is completely unaware of how the platform that he's been on for 16 years actually works, he's completely godsmacked by this, I guess.
I mean, I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't get that many views a month. In an average month, this channel probably brings in 600K views these days. You know, some months we spike. When we have a busy month with games, I'll get 700, 800K views. I rarely hit 1 million. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had 1 million views. It's probably been years. So I want you to think about this.
I'm thinking about it.
Literally, all right, literally shitting on me all day, making shit up, defaming and slandering me, is making $5,000 a month doing it.
Okay.
All right, and he's also getting more views than me. Well, the first thing that I want to say,
what a fucking, I don't want to say it, but like, what a self-own. Like, literally dunked on himself. The guy who's making shit up about me or clipping my channel, oftentimes with no commentary at all, so there's literally no way he could be making things up. But the guy who clips my shit not only gets more views than me, but makes more money. It's almost like people don't like you or something. I know that might be hard to understand, but it's almost like that's the case.
I'll acknowledge this. He's getting more views than me. And he's making
money.
$5,000 a month on ad revenue. Now, by the way, he outright made a point. He says, I just want you guys to know in the month of July, I did not live stream. So there is no super chats included in this. That revenue total is solely based on ad revenue. That's what he said. Now, I don't know if he has memberships, because memberships also would be involved there. And if he has memberships, he didn't factor that in. I mean, for a channel that's bringing in 1 million views a month, you would think he has members that are paying, correct? So that should be part of it, but he fails to mention that in the video. So I can't say if there's members in there or not. But he's bragging. He's bragging, saying, look, I brought in this many views. I didn't even stream. This doesn't even include super chats. So his argument is that when I say things like, oh, well, you see, YouTube ad revenue isn't that good. You can't really make a living on it. Well, look at this, Phil. I'm bringing in $5,000 a month on ad revenue, so you're a liar. You could definitely make a living on it. Well, first of all, Doody, like I said, I bring in around 600K. Which is about half of what you brought in July.
Half of what he brings in July. Okay.
So my ad revenue would be about half of that.
So about $2,500.
You understand that, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, if you're bringing in the amount of views that I'm kind of bringing in, you can't make a living on that.
You can't make a living off of $2,500 a month? For real? What the fuck does he think that people make out there? And again, this is just off of ad revenue. You would assume that given the live streams and the amount of views that he gets, that he's got memberships, right? And those should be factored in, obviously, and all of the super chats and tips that aren't included. But you can't make a living off of $2,500 a month, you guys. Sound good? I don't know. And I'm not going to say that $2,500 a month is an immaculate living by any sense of the words, right? But there are definitely people out here who are living that way. It's not an impossible task to do. You're not going to live the high life like DSP is, but you're also definitely, you know, going to be existing in the world.
Right? I'm speaking from experience. That ad revenue has plummeted. There was a time when I could bring in 1 million views a month and I would be making like $8K a month on ad revenue. You understand that? That was before the apocalypse. The apocalypse changed all of that. And that's the point that I've been making. Is so many people had to change the way that they made content, me included. I have to now take super chats, tips. And by the way, I got a generous tip. I promise you I will shout this out. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. So his point that, oh, well, Phil always says you can't make a living on ad revenue alone. He's lying. All right. Is valid if you're him. All right. But there is a point that I need to make. You know,
Go
he
ahead,
made
make your
1.2
point.
million views in July. And literally every one of those views is my view. Like, you understand that, correct?
That's not how that
Doody,
works at all.
I just have to appeal for a second. You understand that those are my views because your content is titled Debunking DSP Lies. Your content is literally tagged hashtag DSP, hashtag DSP Gaming, hashtag DSP Throwback. People are searching for me, and then they find you.
Yes.
You've gamed the system to show up in search first. But those are my viewers.
If they wanted to see you, DSP, if they genuinely wanted to see his content for his character, for who he is, and genuinely enjoy the shit, why would they click on Doody's channel then? That doesn't make any sense. I get what he's trying to say, that Doody's content and the majority of detractor content is about him, therefore those are his views, but that's just not how it works, because if they wanted to watch your content, they would watch it from you. They very specifically do not want to watch your content. There's a reason that we're watching this pre-stream right now. This is not on a browser, because I didn't want to use raw fill this time because of the 360p again. I'm not watching this on YouTube. I went and downloaded this as to not give him the viewer retention or whatever. That is how far I'm willing to go to not let DSP have that. And I think a lot of people watching clip channels is exactly that as well. That's why people go to Raw Phil, despite it being the exact same experience, instead of just watching DSP for what he is. Like, that's a conscious choice that people are making. Those are not your views. They're explicitly not your views because they don't want them to be.
You get that, right? I mean, even guys like Kino Casino who are watching clips and stuff, they're watching your clips because you're what comes up in search first, because you gamed the system. You didn't come up out of nowhere. People really like your charismatic personality, and that's how you won over viewers. You won them over on my back. You understand that? Every single view you have on your channel is my view. Now, I don't get paid for those views. You do, because you're a scumbag, and you monetize slander, defamation, and hate. But those are my
Doody
viewers.
is never going to recover.
So I make 600K viewers in a month, but then also, I also have your 1.2 million views. So I actually make 2 million views in a month. I mean, we could do this with many different channels. We could go to each detractor's channel where literally the only content they're getting is off of me.
Please make that the pre-stream today.
My channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could continue.
I pray for the day that we have an entire pre-stream where we're just on Social Blade or whatever, and we just look at everybody's fucking channel stats so that we can seethe and cope about all of the views that we're not getting, because all of these damn dirty detractors who were clipping my shit, despite him not doing clips until very recently. Like, and I want to point that out because he's always been pissed. People clip his shit. People go out of their way to steal his content or whatever. But they're literally offering it in a format that he did not. And if you ask me, that's enough to justify making the content in the first place, regardless of whether or not you like him. Like, clipping, it's its own ecosystem that people go out of their way for. Because nobody wants to watch your whole fucking stream, stupid.
Do this and stack it up. Now,
sorry, I totally just hit play and I didn't mean to. Vanguard D Nice with the 2. I'm making 4K a month and I'm doing pretty good. Shaking my damn head. Well, big ups for making 4K a month, brother. I don't know if you mean on the YouTube or if you mean in real life, but either way, big ups, brother. Get your money up, not your funny. Obviously.
Very funny part about all this is if I were to stop making content, you know how many views Doody would have? 0. He would have 0 views. Because the only reason anyone watches his content is me. Whether you like me or you hate me, undoubtedly, the only reason anyone tuned into Doody streams is because of Darkside Phil. And the moment that DSP is gone, you're gone. You're nothing. You're a parasite eating off of me. You understand that? There's no value to you or your existence on YouTube You're just another symptom of a broken system that only factors in the law, but not morality. If there was a morality system on YouTube, your ass would have been wiped and flushed fucking the moment you made your first video. But YouTube is an immoral system.
Good morning,
that doesn't
an actual
care
sketch up.
and
Very
allows
cool, very
people
cool.
to monetize hate, and that's the only reason you have any pertinence on this website. Okay?
Now, I will get to you, Lyrical Thesis, but I want to point out the DSP is talking all of this shit about how Doody's not a likable person. People don't show up for him and his content specifically. They only watch him because DSP is on the screen. This is a video that is I don't actually think, and I want to go confirm this. I'll go find this video myself and skim through it real quick. This video doesn't have DSP in it, does it? This is a debunked video. This is one of those videos where I believe Doody streams doesn't have DSP there, and he just goes through and shows off some stuff, does his own commentary, and that's the end of the video, is it not? I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm scanning. I'm looking. I'm lurking. Okay. All right, I found it. Okay, he does have DSP in it. Okay. Oh, because he's got to show the statement, obviously. I'm dented. He's in the first 4.5 minutes, and he does not make a reappearance in the 18-minute video. So DSP's in 4 out of 18 minutes of this video. Very cool. And you notice that he won't let it play either. Why would he let the video play and speak for itself? Because he has to control the entire narrative. He can't show you that Doody is actually saying things, that he's proving his point, that he has commentary to give. He wants to keep, he wants to keep Doody streams as, oh, it's this clip channel that's stealing all of my shit, when this video very clearly has commentary on it. It's just another one of those ways he controls the narrative. Thank you, Lyrical Thesis, for the 5. Really appreciate it. Do you think DSP sees money in USD with the amount of booster packs? Booster packs, obviously, brother. It's all about them Hogans. He said so the other day. Thank you for the 5, of course. And Vanguard D Nice with the 2. I work in hospital. Better than an e-begging bum. 100%. Thank you for your hospital-style service. Very, very noble profession. Thank you.
Continuing on.
For the 2.
The funny part is with all of this isn't even the self-felt part that I'm talking about yet. The self-felt here is that for those of you who don't know, Doody has outright said over and over and over that he only does this channel because it's fun. He doesn't need the money. He's said this is not him making fun of Darkside Phil for financial gain. In fact, that's not a stake in it. It's not a big deal. For him, this is he's doing it on principle as a hobby for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like that's he said this over and over.
As most people make
in his
content.
own content. All right?
Because they like to entertain, yes.
$5,000 a month on a slow month without super chats. You really, honestly, well,
hey, good morning, Kanye.
He's not making content about me because he wants to make money. He said this before. He's outright said this. As they say, press X to doubt. The man who makes $5,000 on a slow month, if that were every month, he makes $60,000 a year. But likely more because he also has super chats and other things coming in. So he probably makes 80 grand a year shitting on me. All right? But I'm not supposed to believe he does it for money. All right? Well, Doody, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. You want to know why?
Doody just made the biggest mistake of his life. Imagine. I don't even know what that could mean. There is no plan that could be put in place where DSP is going to do something so much so that this is the worst decision Doody has ever made in his life. It's just not possible. There's actually nothing that he can do.
Because now you've been exposed. We all know what you supposedly make, but you claim you don't need it, right?
Okay.
So, since you're not a hypocrite, since you're better than me, demonetize your channel immediately. This very moment that you're watching this, because I know you're watching it, disable all advertisements and kick yourself out of the partner program right now. Because if you don't, you're a fucking liar. You're a degenerate hypocrite. And
you're a
everything
degenerate.
you've said and done
just
is
a complete misuse of the word degenerate by just about every standard. It doesn't make any sense, and he does this shit all of the time. Degenerate, like felt, like seethe. I'm getting really sick and tired of fucking hearing because it's just not being used properly. And this segment alone is the reason why the thumbnail is what it is. Demonetize yourself now. That's the exact energy that he's radiating right now, to think that he has this kind of fucking power, you know? Jesus Christ, this guy.
Worthless. So here's the thing. I make a living on YouTube. I've outright told you guys, I need monetization. I need support. This is how I make my living. I pay my bills, how I support my family. This is my job. Yes, I need the support. Okay? I'm not lying about it. I do it for fun. I actually did YouTube for 2.5 years before you could even monetize gameplay videos. And if I were to become rich, like let's say I won the lotto, I would continue to stream, but I would absolutely not monetize my content.
I don't believe that for a fucking second.
If I won the lotto, I don't need any more income for the rest of my life.
And if that is the case, a lot of pausing today. A lot of pausing. I apologize. This is a very dense stream. If that was the case, that just means you're actually fucking regarded. Like that's the case. If I'm not gonna look down at other people because they do something for a hobby. They found a way to, garner an audience so much so that they can make a bit of money off of it. And it doesn't matter regardless of what the money is. If you go to work and you make $100,000 a year and you have, you don't need the additional income, but you do woodworking, I don't expect you to give away all of your woodcrafts to people for fucking free. That's not the expectation at all. You put fucking time into something, you dedicate yourself to it, you put out a product that people want. Why would you not do that? That doesn't make any sense. And if that was the case, if DSP won the lottery and he did demonetize everything and continue to stream, I just don't know why you would do that. That's incredibly dumb.
You're saying you're affluent, you're good, you're set, you're good to go. You don't need the income. You're doing it for fun to make fun of me. You will demonetize your content immediately right now. Turn off all monetization on Doody streams this very moment, or you are the world's biggest lying fucking hypocrite. And there is absolutely, positively no way you can spin that in another way. You
I just
did.
did.
You showed your analytics. You incredible brainless dunce. Why would you do that? Did you not think that this was going to blow up in your face? You're so stupid. And this is what I mean. I don't have to lift a finger. He did it to himself. I literally...
What did he do other than point out that there is money to be made in ad revenue if you get the views to make this a full fucking time job? Like, I don't understand where the self-felt is. While, granted, I don't personally like the look of displaying how much money you make doing this. I don't think that it's entirely relevant to the content. Even to debunk DSP, there's other ways to go about doing that. I personally wouldn't have done this, but hey, to each their own. It's your analytics, brother. He hasn't fucking done anything other than actually disprove what you said about ad revenue not being enough to exist or whatever. So what did you get out of this? How did he self-felt? I'm genuinely confused. When in gout with the 5, DSP doesn't understand making money off of a hobby you do for free because he cannot do anything without monetizing it. Motherfucker streamed himself hanging foam for 6+ hours or whatever too. So you're right. Everything's got to be on the clock for the guy. He doesn't understand. He couldn't possibly understand.
What in the goddamn?
Oh, and I missed one from Duco Duos. Big ups with the 5. DSP's logic is not logic.
What in the
How is
goddamn?
Doody making 5K a month followed by demonetize your channel now, or you're a hypocrite? Yeah, it doesn't make any sort of sense at all. It not one piece of that flowed together in any sort of coherent way. He's just nonsense right now. He's seething, and he's too busy seething to actually think about something.
All right, well, actually, now let me get this back to normal size. Here we go. Folks, it's been a heck of a show, and I appreciate you all hanging out with me for all these segments. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I can't get it to center, which is bad. There we go. I know it was not my normal format of show, right? It was very different, but I hope you enjoyed it.
It was so different,
I had quite a lot to say. I just want you to understand.
Except for all those other times we talked about detractors all week long.
One of my shows will be like this in the future. Like, not every show is going to be this. It's just so much stuff just happened together at once that I absolutely felt the need to do all this together. All right, and I hope that you guys, understand what's going on. All right.
All right, an actual dead air segment.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, thank you for watching. Now I have to do a lot of shout-outs because many of you just contributed during that segment. Here was the funny part. Someone in chat just said, well, Doody usually says that if you would demonetize all your content, he'll demonetize mine. This is my job. This is my living. It's also my passion, but it's also my job. No one's going to lie here and be like, yeah, I don't make money doing this. Yes, I do. That's why I have to work 6 days a week. This is my job. You do it 6 days a week because you like it. You actually dislike me so much that you're just hate watching and making toxic content 6 days a week. All right? But you do because you like it. Not because you're making $60,000 to $80,000 a year. Doody, you're a liar. It's time to flush the Doody, folks. I mean, you could go play with Doody if you want. You could go play with Doody as much as you want, right? But the bottom line is he is not going
bottom
to
line. Put it on the counter.
demonetize his channel. He is a liar. He is a filthy, dirty fucking liar and will never do that. He's doing it for profits or else he would demonetize his channel immediately. And people are telling me, looks like it's still monetized.
What? Brother, you just made this segment. You expected Doody to, like, if Doody really was going to go demonetize his content, which I don't think that he's going to wind up doing, obviously. Why would he? How would he have demonetized his shit already? I mean, I guess he could have just mass demonetized everything, but you just finished the segment not 2 minutes ago. How fucking quickly do you think people are moving at your fucking words? Again, the ego on this guy to sit there and fucking triumphantly chew his water and expect people to have accomplished the task that he's set forth a mere 2 minutes ago. Thank you, Pope Super Kame Jizzler, for the 6 months. Big ups, brother. Phil is currently calculating how to get all of Doody's revenue and spend it on some Hogans. Big ups, Atlas. Keep up the felting, dude. Well, I appreciate the 6 months, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and that is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to figure out how to make all of those fucking views and all of that money go into his stupid bank account. Or I guess his PayPal, rather. Very cool. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Wrong tab again.
And by the way, just so you guys know,
By the way,
I do not condone
categories.
anyone taking any action against Doody. I don't want anyone doing anything mean, toxic, or bad to him whatsoever. As I said, the difference here when I do this kind of content is that I don't wish anyone harm. I do not want anyone trolling this man. I don't want anyone doing anything to him. Let him self-implode, because he will. He already has. And of course, undoubtedly, he's going to make more content based on this that's just going to dig him deeper. In fact, I'll even say this. Every single piece of content that he now makes about me is literally him just digging the hole deeper, because he's admitting he needs to keep making it. He needs to keep making the money because it's still monetized. Okay?
Okay.
There you go. Period.
Who gives a shit what you think, brother?
So that's that for that.
This is an $80,000 a year hole. I think you'd be fucking stupid to just piss that away. In all honesty, if Doody genuinely demonetized his channel, I think he'd be a fucking idiot. I would say that to his face, because I think that he would fucking agree. That's so dumb. It doesn't, like, the logic literally doesn't logic here. Are you?
And by the way, one other thing, do not do any toxic actions towards this man's channel or anything like that. I don't condone that, because now, you know, what happens is people are idiots and they run out there and they try to do messed up stuff. Do not do that whatsoever. All right? He is making content within the rights of YouTube. YouTube says the content's allowable. It's allowable. I don't agree with the content. I think it's insanely painful, toxic, and shouldn't exist, but he can do it, right? So there's nothing I can do about that. Do not pay attention to the Doody. The worst thing you could do is to jump in the toilet and play with the Doody. You understand what I'm saying? The best action is to ignore the Doody. It smells, and we want it flushed. The problem is there's so many other turds jumping in the bowl with him, it's clogged and it won't flush. The less people that jump in with Doody, the better, because eventually, when it dwindles and goes down and down and down, and people stop paying attention to Doody and playing with Doody, we'll be able to flush it. And it'll happen naturally.
Sounds good, dude.
Okay.
And that's not even a dunk on Doody. Like, to say, like, oh, well, eventually it's all gonna go down for Doody and then he's gonna move on and do something else. Like, ideally that's what everybody does after they no longer want to do YouTube. It's no longer interesting to them. They're no longer interested in doing the content. They just go do something else. Most people have other shit to do. They have other hobbies. They have other things that they're interested in. They could go make content elsewhere doing other things, regardless of whether or not it's the same profitability. But again, DSP doesn't understand this, because all he has to his name is his fucking legacy and his shit-ass YouTube channel no one gives a fuck about.
Ladies and gentlemen, shout-outs. I received I didn't mean to make this full screen.
And to be completely clear, I have not seen the
I
rest of this pre-stream. The
a-
remaining 12 minutes are completely new to me.
A super chat
Starting
from
right
Cincinnati
now.
Harry. Next goal, we got to get King DSP on Joe Rogan show. I don't think that will ever happen, but thank you.
I'd
for the
love
super
to
chat.
see that.
Bull Sarah with
I
a
would
10
love
euro
to
super
see
chat.
DSP
Doody
on
has a
Joe
monetary
Rogan.
interest in lying about Phil. You cannot trust this guy. He's a scammer. And Eric just did a $5 Canadian super chat. Can you just copyright strike him? No, you cannot. There's no grounds to copyright strike someone on YouTube for that. YouTube actually considers it fair use. So you cannot copyright strike. It would be a gross abuse of the copyright system, and I'm not going to do that. I refuse. I've had that done to me, and it's really messed up, and no one should be abusing YouTube's copyright system whatsoever. It's a really messed up thing, and I do not condone it whatsoever, okay?
He
So don't
doesn't
do that. I
condone
don't
it,
want
but he's
anyone- like I said, I
definitely
don't
done
want
it in the
anyone
past. Don't get it
taking
twisted.
any kind of
Don't fall for the
action against the
pignosis
man.
now.
All right? And I appreciate you guys who would respect that wish. If you do go and do something, it has nothing to do with me. I disown it. I completely condemn it. Do not take any actions against him. All right? We're better than that. You understand? We are better than him. We don't need to do anything to hurt that guy. He's going to destroy himself. It's a matter of time. Okay.
Yeah, and obviously in chat, you guys, this is obviously just a very, very like transparent. Guys, I can't condone any of this behavior. Please don't go to Doody's address at, and then you list it. It's that behavior. It's obviously not exactly that, but that's exactly what's happening here. It's a very transparent, like disavow, even though he wouldn't mind if you did, obviously. Pig whistling.
My
Yes,
RGB
that's
said
exactly what
malfunctioned,
it
and I
is.
don't know
Thank
how
you,
to
thank
get
you,
them to
thank you.
reset. Oh, I just got them to reset. Never mind. Good. My RGB said a malfunction. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, if you get
that's what I was
caught,
doing.
I'm gonna say
all
that
right.
I didn't know anything about
Let's
it.
see here. I received an insanely generous
30 deeds done dirt cheap for free, actually.
$100 tip from Bohi Pants, who says, enjoying your stream. Hail to the king. Thank you so much, Bohi Pants. Wow. $100 tip. Holy crap, yes, that blows the king's coffers apart. If I can find the $100 tip animation, there it is. I couldn't find it. Time for a celebratory dance. Be sure to tractors when you clip the show to show my tips total there below because I felted you. Oh, you stupid fucks, I just felted you. Oh my god.
Now you understand the black bar. Look at him. Look how stupid
Lord,
he
these
looks.
people are dumb. People,
Oh,
oh, you guys want the light show? People are saying do the. All right, I'm gonna forewarn everyone. I'm gonna do a very quick, like 10-second light show for celebration. But some people are saying it actually triggers them, like it's like a strobing lights. So if you have like epilepsy or problems, please look away.
wasn't it Jade? Wasn't it literally Jade who was like, "Oh, I don't like the lights," and DSP's response was like, "Oh, it's only gonna be for a minute, Jade. It's only gonna be for a minute."
10 seconds. Thank you also very much for your support this morning on the Level 1 podcast. Ginormous celebratory contributions all around. What a show. I told you it would be my biggest show ever, and indeed, I believe it has been. We've never had this many viewers before. This level of support is absolutely outstanding.
Man, I
Thank
sure
you
wish
also
I knew
very
how many
much. Please
viewers
look
he
away
had.
again. I don't want this to bother anybody's eyes, but I swear.
If you're gonna flex about something, you might want to make it part of the actual content, DSP. Have it on the fucking screen or something. Just like the chat. If you're gonna interact with the chat, you might as well have it on the fucking screen. So people, in the future could actually see it? I don't know. Wouldn't that be something?
All right, we'll turn it back to normal in just a second. Once I find the leaderboard and update it. This is Bohi Pans with the biggest tip of the day. And we are up to $250 in tips and climbing, and I haven't
Jade isn't
even
seething, he's seizing.
12 streams in a row that we have crushed the goals. Thank you all. All right, let me go back to normal now because it's probably going to bother some people. Orange here.
It's gonna bother some people.
Very good. Okay.
Jade has been reduced to some
Wait a minute,
people.
it's
Shout
more
out
yellow. I
some
want more
people,
orange.
of course.
There we go. To match. There we go. Beautiful.
Hypnotoad with the 5.
All right.
Now that he got the taste of drama money, you think he's gonna
What
go
in the
harder?
goddamn-
I would imagine so. I would imagine that he's gonna stay on this train until he either gets completely 180'd on the casino or until the money dries up. So hopefully one of them happens soon.
What a show, folks. So, some more shout-outs. Garrity did a super chat. And he says, do you want to do every side quest and face every boss in Wukong, or are you just going to go with the flow if you find them? It's cool if not enjoying the story. I want to do what I find, all right? Now, if there's, like, critical, important, notable stuff that I'm blatantly missing, and it's just as simple as, hey, Phil, you went the wrong way, go back and check out this little thing, then I'd like to do it. Like, for example, there's that door. That
And
was
hold
right
me
near
in the
two
game
rat boss, where it was the
confirmed.
king and his, like, son or whatever. There was a door after I beat them. And it said you need items to open the door. I didn't have the items at the time. Maybe I'll have them eventually. I'll be able to go back. I just opened up a secret area at the point where I fought the Tiger Vanguard. And I just opened it. We're going to do that today. That's what we're starting, is this optional dungeon at the Tiger Vanguard. That's what we're going to be doing first today. And then go from there. Okay?
Sounds
But
good. Mr. Extravagant pointing out that, by the way, he said this would be his best podcast ever. Well, I can almost agree with him. This is one of his best podcasts ever, in the fact that it's completely insufferable and ridiculous to high hell. I do want to point out that for about 15 to 20 minute span there, we were literally reading Twitter replies. Like, I don't want anybody to forget that. And if you remember anything from today and remember anything from this stream, please remember we spent 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes looking at fucking Twitter replies. That is the takeaway. Never forget how far the content has fallen.
Yeah. I'd like to know if I'm missing critical stuff, but only if it's like a big thing. I might find it on my own too, right? Please don't just spoil all along. You know what I mean? Cheetos.
When he says that it's not a drama farmer, when he says that he doesn't do any of this shit to rile people up or get embroiled in drama, you remember the amount of time we spent reading Twitter.
Claim, like, add an ad in his video that is using your material, like the other people do with copyrighted material. Wings does it. Enjoy the $2. To my knowledge, it's fake. That's not real. The only way that you can claim content is through like a major partnership company or network. So, for example, when I was with Machinima many, many moons ago as a partner network, they had the ability on YouTube to claim other people's content. If I was uploading content under their umbrella, they were considered the parent company network and they could claim videos, okay? I have no ability to do that, to my knowledge. All I have is a copyright tool that I can copyright strike people. That's it. I don't have another tool to do anything else besides that. So anyone who's saying that, I don't know where the hell they got this magic tool to ad claim other people's videos. I don't have that ability, and I've been around for 16 years. You know, DSP Gaming has been around since 2010, so 14 years. I never got it. So
I don't even know what he's fucking talking about. I was reading chat.
To do it.
He said Machinima and I tuned out. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, when my videos.
Why do I want to hear about 10 years ago?
By networks and stuff. You know, like someone will have a video that I watch on the React show, but then the video doesn't get claimed by the person whose video that is. I get claimed by like a network will claim it. And then I'm like, oh shit, I guess I can't monetize that video because the network claimed the video or whatever, right? So that's to my knowledge, that's how it's set up. You know, maybe it is Wings under a partner contract with someone and they're claiming stuff on his behalf. I have no idea. You'd have to talk to Wings, but I have no ability to do that. Okay?
Go talk to Wings. Get out of here.
So thank you for that. And Double M says you really need a soundboard for stuff.
Yeah,
I would like to get one eventually. I do have a stream deck, but it does not work with my current capture streaming PC, which is over 10 years outdated. I need to get a newer one that has like current Windows, and my wife has that. She has a Windows 10
You know what?
PC
I'm done. I don't give a shit about the stream deck. I don't want to hear about this boomer talking about all the fucking boomer noises he would put on his stream deck as soon as he transfers over to his wife's PC and he guts it for what it is. I don't fucking care. I talked about all the things I wanted to talk about. It is my father's birthday. Yes, it is Papa Atlas's fucking birthday. We're going to go visit Papa Atlas right now. I'm going to go get some sandwiches. I'm going to go over there and hang out with him. It's going to be robust and meaningful. Thank everybody for stopping by. It was incredibly fun. Obviously, I wasn't seething or coping or molding the entire stream. We were having fun and playing a character, because that's what we do here. We try and make content, obviously. So thank you all. You're going to be redirected to Detractor Beam, even though they're not going to be live for another like hour and 15 minutes. Sorry, stream's over. I got to go visit my dad. So big ups. I will see you tonight for whatever we do on WPIG. Usually act the king, but with the co-op thing, I don't know what ALT plans. He does not communicate effectively to me. So be there or be square at 8 or 9 p.m. Very cool. Bye.